Heyo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to SOS episode, what was it, 22, we decided?
Yeah. I think that is correct.
Yep.
And initially, this would have been
the end.
The last of like 2 more episodes to go, or after this, with the original plan. We were only going to do 24.
No way. We could not have gotten all
that
this.
Means,
I would have cut a lot of it if we didn't.
A
lot of this would have never shown up.
We need every last drop.
Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody to SOS 22. We are, as Dot said, going on a little bit of a mid-season break after today's episode, so you can consider this like the mid-season finale. Excuse me. We're going to be gone till when? September
19th.
16th. September
16th. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. We
16th.
will come back September 16th.
And I know it sounds like super far away, but we're like already over a week into July, everybody. It's like 2 months. So we've got cons all over the place that people are going to be going to. If you're going to be at some of those cons, like we're going to do something at Gen Con. We might have like a little meetup.
We are having a meetup Friday night of Gen Con. Location TBD, but we'll be putting it in the Discord. So just know that you can come hang out. Those of us that'll be there, like myself and Bub and Tracy. I believe Jason Charles Miller is going to be joining us, and Mr. Mark Meir. Swing by. Come say hey. Join us.
Yeah, and then before long after that, we'll be back on here booting it back up for the next and the final half of season 3. I feel like we're going to see a lot of Tracy crying as we get close to the end of the show, just because it's ending.
Definitely. I'm going to be crying a lot.
Let's start a tier counter now, everybody.
Yeah, right,
we
exactly. So with that, keep that in mind. We're not gone forever. We'll be back very, very soon. And this doesn't mean there won't be stuff popping up in terms of little bits of content on the stream or in the podcast. So, keep your ears and your eyes kind of on us throughout the summer, even during our break.
Yeah, we got
some
things up our sleeves.
Yeah, we do. And if you guys want to talk about the show even while we're gone, that's like the perfect opportunity to jump into our Discord. It's totally free to jump in. Just click on the link that'll pop up in chat, I'm sure.
Yep.
And you can just there's a ton of different rooms to talk about all of our different shows, and there's lots of in-depth theories and discussions, and you can keep your SOS addiction rolling over at the Discord, and all of us are in there to some degree or another. So we're always got our eyes on it.
Today is going to end in any kind of semblance of like peace. You're wrong. We all know that that's not going to happen, Mathis, and we're going to spend the next
okay, hang on.
months.
If we take a second, I'm sure there's some cliffhanger that was nice that I've done. There has to have been a couple out there.
I'll wait.
Well, it's been a long time now. All right, I can't think of all of them.
All right, chat. You come up with one, but until then,
I think the end of season 2 was pleasant.
Okay, the end of season 2, but is that really cliffhanger? That's a closure.
I guess the end of season 1 was a nightmare, so it's different at least. Cliffhanger, good cliffhangers.
We've had so many in this game. Like, I don't know, the one where before she opened the box. And we looked over Chicago, or like the one where Dakota was almost dead after a brawl with Ollie and Ava in an alleyway. The list goes on and on.
There's lots of them. Well, you're all alive, so I guess in a way, through a certain lens, they are all good cliffhangers because you're all still kicking and still able to tell your character's story. You're not dead, so that's a good thing. Is there anything else that I need to pitch? Is there anything else I need to shill that I'm missing here?
I don't think so. Just stick with us over the break. We're still gonna make some content. We've been working on. Do we want to tell them the big secret? What we're working on? We don't have a date as when they'll be released, but we're working on them.
I have ADHD, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
I want to know what the big secret
is. Yeah, me too. And I probably already know.
We literally met yesterday about it.
Oh yeah, hit him.
You hit him.
No, I refuse.
Oh my god. Okay.
What's happening?
We are working on lore sheets for the characters to release to the community based on our characters or special locations or those kinds of things across both this show and the podcast. So we're going to be releasing some really cool stuff. That way you have some lore sheets that you can use at your table. Where you can sprinkle in a little Pod by Night flavor, a little Pam, a little Bow.
Yeah, I'm excited. Lore sheet stuff's going to be really cool. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with as you start putting your lore sheets together.
Yeah, we brain dumped yesterday. There were some really crazy things that came out of it.
that's just like, I feel like that's such like a nice poetic way to kind of put it like a little bookend on a character, one who survives that far. Just a
I
lore
guess
sheet at
Tracy,
the end.
you should now know we should start putting together an Ava lore sheet.
Cool.
Even if Ava dies,
Tori
might be good.
Sombra. If you want to play a Tori Sombra, check out my lore sheet.
Access to Oblivion powers at extreme cost to character soul.
Yes.
Yeah, no problem. That's
the
like
worst
Ava's
case scenario
shit.
for a Toreador. Oh,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, the other thing I want to tease before we go is when we do come back in September on the 16th, we'll have a guest right at that opening episode. So, make sure you're here for it. We'll be reminding you as we get closer and closer to the show. But we'll have a guest returning again from previous seasons and shows that you've seen, and to hopefully we'll have two guests. I'm gonna try and pull a second one in actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. We'll see. I'm gonna
have to get more boxes on screen.
We'll see. We'll see if I get okays from everybody. I've only got okay from one of them so far. But that's not what this is about. We're done. We're done shilling. It's time to jump into our mid-season finale, everybody. So, without further ado, let's rein things in, set the scene, and see where our coterie is up to. And as we start, I'm gonna fucking narrate. You know what you need to do for me, Dot. You need to make me some rolls. Does anybody have stains that need to be rolled for, by the way?
No.
Can we say, since Ava and Dakota went all the way to get both a stag and 2 pigs, that I ate at least one of the pigs before I went to bed? Because we're going to be really screwed.
Oh,
what were you at? What hunger were you at before
4.
You went? You were at hunger 4? Yes, you would still need to make me a hunger frenzy check at hunger 4 when tasting pig blood to go and not know hunger frenzy.
Okay.
It only took me 5 years, but I'm starting to remember rules.
Rouse. Okay.
Wow, that's one of us.
Okay.
It's like the only game I play is the problem, and it still took me like 5 years.
Okay, I'm gonna resist frenzy. Resisting frenzy. Go.
So we'll say this is the night prior. You are easily resisted. So you will feed with a your BP didn't go up. A pig has less blood than a human. So unless you want to knock out both pigs, you're gonna be able to sate 2 hunger.
Off 1 pig.
Off 1 pig.
Okay, I will say 2 hunger off 1 pig. That puts us in a less dire situation. Before I go to sleep. I'm not melding with the earth. I'm gonna find an actual place to rest my weary body.
Do you rest on the boat?
Probably I go home.
Yeah, you could take the boat and if you're worried, I imagine you could bring the boat into the middle of the water.
Into the water, yeah.
Yeah, that way if you wake up starving.
Yeah. I don't want to.
Yeah. You could. That's the other thing. Do you want to leave the dogs off the boat as well, and just for safety's sake?
Yeah, I'd leave them with Ollie, or maybe make Ava take them for a walk. Shit.
You give them to Ava. Yeah. Ava would say no. I just feel like she'd be like,
I don't know. I think Ava looked dope walking around with 2 pit bulls on diamond chain. You know what I'm saying? What a power move.
Dakota would lose her mind if she saw her 2 dogs with diamond collars on them. Are you kidding me? She would
one day in Ava's care, and they have bow ties around their necks.
You'd fury frenzy just on that.
I got the boys a treat.
Okay.
All right. You're in the middle of the boat. You're at
you're
at 2 hunger. So give me a rouse check to wake up first. No. Okay. Now give me 3 rouse checks to heal 1 aggravated, please.
1.
Perfect.
1.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So you gain a hunger. You're at
Let's
3
go.
hunger tonight.
Good rolls.
Bringing you down to how much aggravated damage?
2 aggravated damage.
Oof.
Yeah, I know. And I still haven't healed on my superficial, which I have to rouse for every time. So basically, I'm going to go in a room with this pig and anything else Ollie can offer me at this point and just try to feed down. I'm going to
I guess that's the next question is where do you end up feeding usually? Where does the pig being kept? Is it at the Ollie's place? Is it the Lights Out pub? Or do you keep it on your boat?
That's a Ollie. Where do we keep
pigs? I keep them. There's a container in around K&O's little hold. So yeah, you can stage them there. There's actually multiple pins for multiple animals.
So it'd be right near his bar, basically, not on the boat.
Cool. Yeah, there I usually feed on drunk homeless men, which I know Chicago has a plethora of.
Yeah. I mean, that's the next question, right? You got 3 hunger, so you're not at a risk of hunger frenzying. Are you going to feed on local, or are you... Oh, did you talk to Frank about the missing persons case that is outside of your boat?
No.
The last episode where you accidentally killed off a security guard?
No.
Okay, so maybe staying at the boat was not a good
I
idea.
did, because I haven't been back to pick up my Xerox copies
That's
yet
fair,
of
that's
the
fair.
other crime scene I'm investigating. So, you know, one thing at a time. No, I haven't really dealt with that yet. I imagine I don't pull into the dock area where there's like a crime scene. Let us not forget, the body they are looking for is still tied to the bottom of the boat. I'm running around the lake.
Oh, I know. It's been picked at by fish over the course of a couple of nights
That's,
already.
Yeah, just let them eat it. It's
And the
healthy
missing persons.
healthy ecosystem.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to see where you were at. I'm sorry, that leaves you with
maybe into a new spot for the night as I dock. And try. And
that brings you down to how much? I'm sorry. How many aggravated damage?
2 aggravated and 4 superficial. I'm gonna try.
And for those who may have forgotten, the aggravated damage came from a close run-in with a raging lupine. She barely survived. You were 1 hit away from fucking getting dusted, but
Dakota
you
needs
lived.
a shirt that says "I barely survived." That is her life fucking story.
I mean, that
and the karate one.
I barely survived. Okay, so I think what Dakota would do is like get off the boat, maybe at a sketchier end of the docks or something, and seek out some drunk dude that she can hunt down. So I'll make a basic,
just make me your hunting check for what your hunting type is.
It is a strength brawl.
Are you eating at the rack? Are you eating more around the dock? No, I'm eating
in my territory around the docks. Okay. That's the hope anyways, if I find one.
We'll see what you roll.
A 4?
Oh, you rolled plenty. 4 is plenty of a success to find somebody stumbling around drunk, incoherent enough to a few quick words gets you close enough to quickly dip them behind a tree or somewhere that just can't be seen.
Yeah, so pull them into a bush. So here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to feed down. Like I'm like, shh, stop making noise. You're making this difficult. And I hold him down with one hand. I'm gonna feed down to 2 dots. So I feed 1 dot from him.
Okay. You're only feeding 1 off of him, so he's gonna be feeling. He's still be conscious, a little more slurry, a little bit more incoherent.
I'm going to rouse to start healing the superficial damage.
Okay, give me a rouse.
So it's a rouse check per.
And you get hungry, you lose a dot.
Great, but I did it. Okay, my body just kind of the superficial stuff starts to heal.
And as your aggravated disappears, it turns into superficial, correct? Or does it vanish? Am I remembering old rules and mixing them with V5?
That I don't know. I'd have to read.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll worry about that.
I know that it at least heals. So I have some superficial that has no aggravated on top of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and heal those.
Okay, so you're back up to
and then I'm gonna
hunger.
Feed 2 more from this guy down.
So
to
you
3.
went from you fed him at 3, brought yourself down to 2, and then healed twice, and now you're at 4. I need a hunger frenzy check, please, as you feed from him.
Okay. Yep.
I thought it was 5.
I thought it was 5.
5 for the sight, 4 for the taste.
Oh, because I've already had a taste. You're right. Okay, we're good.
3 successes is still fine. You do not frenzy. The beast is.
I leave him passed out in the bush. And I feed down to 2 hunger again. Then I'm gonna go to Ollie's bar and have a pig. Tonight's a gluttonous night, everybody.
So you're taking 4 points of hunger off of him total?
No, I had 3. I took 1 from him, so I went down to 2.
1.
I roused twice and failed, so it went to 4. And I'm taking 2 dots for him, so that's 3 total.
Okay, so he's like blackout, unconscious. You know, the usual how you leave people after you feed off them so heavily. But you do so, and then what'd you say after that? My apologies.
So then I'm gonna go to Ollie's bar and feed on the pig and do it all over again.
Okay, so we get to the pig. A little bit less of a blood pool to be working off of this one with, but go ahead and make me your rolls.
Okay, so I come like, I'm feeling good in comparison to the way I felt the last few nights. So I probably
the pig would be across the street in one of the pens on the opposite building on the second floor.
Oh, so it's not actually in the bar.
It's being penned up with his big pets.
I'm gonna just quick stroll in and munch the pig. So I can get 2 off the pig.
Yeah, 2 is you can get.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and try to heal now. So I will go ahead and rouse again. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I got 1 more to go. Everybody, rouse again. Hey, and I'm just gonna go ahead and take both 2 off of him, bringing me down to 1 hunger. Math, everybody.
Hey, we love it. Now you're just stuck with your 2 aggravated damage, which is still fucking pain in the ass.
Sucks, but no.
Yeah, 2 more nights, it'll be gone at some point. So that's kind of like the preamble before the episode. I guess we can bring everybody together for the opener. So we'll kind of like bring it in now, so to speak. And it's the typical noises of the inside of the lights out pub as our camera catches Dakota stepping outside of the building, just a bit further down the block on the left-hand side. She's cleaning up her lips a little bit, making sure she's okay. And while she definitely has deep ingrained wounds, the ones that are left are much easier to cover with clothing and keep them kind of out of sight. And while there is a pain that is unignorable, so much so that the beast within still writhes from it, you can at least carry yourself in a way that doesn't look like you're limping just half alive down the street any longer, without the eyes of strangers darting over, curious as to why this young girl looks half dead. Then as you stride across the street and our vision kind of fades out and then fades in just on the inside of the common room of the Lights Out pub, the front door opens with that typical bell. We can see the skateboard being kicked up and grabbed by that familiar teenage hand. And you step into a few familiar faces who have only just straggled in, giving you a wave. Ted at the end over there is already working on his second beer. And a few people are just kind of pulling up their seats for the evening. And in the back, you can already smell the burgers cooking if you were to take a moment and allow yourself to take in some air. And you hear some grumbling in the back, but the smell of the burgers look more intense than it might normally be. The new stove in the back is way better than the ones before, and Grant has absolutely burned more than one burger over the course of the past couple nights trying to get used to it, and that stink certainly carries a bit. You push open the kitchen door as it swings and wobbles shut, and there's Grant flipping something. He looks over, oh, hey, Red. And not too far, just coming up for his evening, probably carrying a box of buns that Grant needed very badly, is Ollie with his apron half hanging down, as it always is, just kind of set up for the night as he plops the burger buns down behind him. He looks at you, Grant kind of whips over, he gives you a quick thank you as he goes to about making whatever food has been ordered.
I think Dakota yells, those buns look good in your hands. Really loud so everybody can hear me.
We'll see what Ollie says first.
I have no words.
On that line, actually, it's as you're saying that, Ava strides into the bar, hearing all of that as well.
Did somebody say buns?
The best buns in the business.
Hey, we'll always agree on that. Thank God you're here. They're flirting with each other, and it's really weird.
I'm just feeling good, Grant. Look, no black eye.
Yeah, you're looking less gangrelly.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, man. This is why I love you. You are who you are, unashamed, unabashedly. You mean to your friends, and your friends still love you. It's a fucking talent.
We've gone from obsession to love now, huh?
Well, I thought I said that last time.
Have you dropped the L word before, Grant? This is a big, big deal.
I'm the only one that has ever said it and meant it to her.
Wow.
Not true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not true at all. As you know, we're not getting into it. I'm not going to get into my problems right now.
Isn't that all this is? Isn't that been my life for like 5 years? Is your problems?
It's everybody's problems. I've made my problems everybody's problems. Yes.
Did you feed him a big glass of sass this morning for breakfast, Ollie? Because Grant is full of shit today.
Whoa, what your problem? I didn't do anything. I keep burning burgers. God damn it. He turns around to the burger he clearly lost any attention to as he was talking to Ava, the smoke trailing up from it, and he just starts cursing to himself as he kind of goes back to focusing on making the food in front of him.
Look, you've
this
already
thing
burned
cooks too fast.
You burned 10 pounds. 10 pounds.
It's Ava's buns.
Are you burning my buns?
Wait,
Lower
I can burn
heat.
your buns?
Lower heat. Longer exposure. Lower heat, longer exposure.
Is it like propane bad for you or something? And you see him turning the heat down, the flame starts being kind of shrinking a bit.
This is... Everything is bad for you, Grant. Everything is bad for you.
Are you all right, Ollie?
I will continue unliving. Unliving? I don't even know. What I'll live.
Okay.
It's reassuring.
The silence lingers for a bit. Grant keeps like looking over his shoulder back at the burgers.
How did the labyrinth go, Ollie?
Nope.
Oh, that's my cue. That's my cue. I gotta go.
Remember,
And Grant quickly gets a burger. Order up.
Hey,
And he walks out the kitchen.
You don't have to pretend like you didn't listen through the door.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, that. Yes. We did talk a little bit about the labyrinth. Yes, now I'm remembering. You don't have to rehash.
We know, Ava, you were listening.
Yes. So.
But I hope everybody's ready, Freddy, because tonight we're gonna go rip open some hunters.
Is that we're doing that tonight?
We don't want to do that tonight. We should do that tonight, right?
What's the plan with that? With the hunters?
Well, Ollie knows the layout of the building. He's supposed to be sketching it. Did you doodle it out?
Yeah, I got a napkin layout.
And once we see the layout, we can make a plan.
Oh,
I question whether McTavish will follow our plan.
I'm leading it. McTavish will follow it. He wants to see this through.
You sure you're in a good shape to do this, Dakota? Are you...
Oh, fine. Look at me.
Okay.
A few broken ribs and a dislocated hip. No problem.
The truth is, we're just supposed to go in and wipe them out. But I think our best move is to stage it like it's been a lupine assault. They're right up against Berwyn anyway. So... Because they're against Berwyn, there's a dozen of them. We're moving in. I've got to meet with one of Emmy's reps tonight, someone that is a liaison for her, so I can see if I can get some goons for this attack. We already know that what's his? I just out of him. I just spaced his name. McTavish. We already know McTavish is going to be there with his +1. We'll be there. Gonna shoot for some Emmy's goons. Didn't you say you're gonna try to get Moon for this as well?
Yeah, I need to go deliver a message.
Well, we'll still be outnumbered, I think. But not outpowered.
So what? We just need bodies?
We need to make it look like a lupine attack. I saw some of the havoc. that Hannah left in the city.
Yeah. I don't think we are capable of making people look like they were mauled and flayed to death.
I am.
Me too.
Okay, well, you know what? I'll let you two handle it.
Okay, that being said, let's think about this. Another lupine attack means it's that much more, or that much harder for us to cover for the first one, Hannah's, which I need to go see Frank about.
That's the thing, is we're trying to make sure that the lupine have attention drawn to them. Everybody thinks that Chicago is this present threat, right? If the lupine are going to make moves, which we believe they are because they're colluding, they're at least working under new management, as we've come to believe, then we draw attention away from us and put it on a threat that is more of an issue for them. Make the SI or the hunters or whatever the fuck they're supposed to be focus on them.
I'm more worried
Unless
about
you have a different plan.
No, I'm just worried about drawing attention. The more attention we draw to the lupine, the harder it is to cover it from a kind perspective. Every attack needs an answer, and we was just about to hand Frank one, and if there's another attack, that kind of falls through. So, if we go with a lupine attack, we need a good cover.
We won't need a cover. Why are we going to need a cover? What do we need a cover for?
Because we're
for Hannah.
A massive Camarilla breach just out in the open.
It's not a Camarilla breach for us. Our hands are clean. The SI have been dusted by lupine.
I guess what I'm saying is, for me to cover up for Hannah, I need there to be less lupine attacks. Because I'm going to answer, give a solution, and once they go and Frank puts shit out in the news for us that says this is what happened, and then another lupine attack happens, my plan falls through and they're back on the hunt.
I don't think your plan falls. I think it's going to stage some changes.
Why can't we just dust the SI and clean the place and be done with it?
Because they'll know that the Kindred did it. They'll send reinforcements. We want them to be found. They operate for someone else. And if they think that Kindred went in, they'll think that we bled them. But if we leave blood, we leave bodies, we leave a mess of lupine.
But
if they send more here, they're going to send them for lupine, or they won't send them at all.
How about this, Mathis? Did Jackson make it sound like he wanted a statement made?
In terms of the...
Like, if we make a cover for it and blame it on the lupine.
Mm-hmm. He didn't really imply any of that, really.
I think he just said he wanted it, like, cleaned up.
He just wanted it cleaned up.
Hunters are very similar to vampires in a lot of ways, that, like, they're rats. You can clean them out, but more will show up.
Yeah.
There's more mortals than vampires, you know.
I see.
I don't know if we're just people in chat saying your mic's a little quiet. I don't know if you can bump it at all.
Sorry, y'all.
Here's my shake on it, right? If the lupine are under new management right now, if that alpha has united the packs and he finds out that there's been a lupine attack, he's going to come down on them, and it will lower the lupine attacks, or at least make them a little more clear in where they're moving. Will it not? You think some of your goons are out doing things outside of you, you kind of come down on your lot below you. That's how it works in the mob.
But that goon is Hannah.
But Hannah's not with them.
Precisely. They're going to hunt her because she's not with them and she made an attack on the city. Dakota's trying to cover for it. So my bigger fear is we're actually drawing more attention by putting it on the lupine.
But they also don't know that Hannah's changed. Unless she went back to them.
They're going to know that there is a lupine in Chicago that made an attack on people out in the open without their say, regardless of if they know it's Hannah. I'm trying to keep them from knowing it's Hannah. And the more things we blame on the lupine, the more likely they are to come in sniffing about. So I just want to get Hannah's name cleared, and I think Dakota fears that this is not going to clear Hannah's name. It's only going to make it messier. We blame it on the lupine, and only every time we involve them, even just to blame them, we make it messier with the lupine.
I think that's fair, and I think that like Ollie's okay with that.
So we don't blame it on the lupine. We just attack and leave it at that, and they can make their own conclusions.
Then it becomes another problem. Then it falls to Hannah again, because Hannah's the one that caused the assault. It means that Dakota's going to have to make up more for Frank. Frank's going to have to pin it on someone else.
Who else is there to...
That's not my problem. That's a Frank problem.
No, it's actually a me problem. I'm solving that problem right now, and I have a plan.
Why don't we pin it on the fucking La Sombra or whatever, the people at the club?
We need to redirect it away from Kindred. We're trying to limit the amount of SI that come in for Kindred. There's a reason that Kindred have been getting murdered, and it's not just because of lupine attacks.
Yeah,
it's because there's a zealot that's running around calling the shots.
Aren't this cell that we're dealing with different from the one that is Layla's zealots?
They are, yes.
So does that... I mean, Layla's gonna Layla, but this cell is a thorn in our side, and we can just deal with it. And
the problem is, Layla operates for no one. She's doing her own thing. This cell is represented. They're funded. They're sending more.
Then isn't it better for us to listen to him for a while than just take him out?
There's value on both. This is the Kindred conundrum. There's value on both ends.
What do you do when 12 individuals, regardless of their status, kind or kindred, have told you that they're going to kill you and everything that matters to you? Do you lay around and let them plan on how they're going to assault you, your friends, and every resource that you've garnered over decades?
No. We're gonna kill them. That is not in question.
Okay, we're gonna kill them. The question is, who do we blame this on? I don't think we need to really think too deep into who to blame it on, because regardless, we don't know if they're gonna think it's lupine or not. That's all a gamble anyway.
All right, fine. Then I'm gonna call a shot here. No one feeds on any of them.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good...
Okay, fine. That makes sense.
Yeah.
No trace?
We want all the blood accounted for.
Yeah.
At that point, maybe it was a gang attack.
Yeah.
It's going to look a little weird when they have their heads punched through and their hearts pulled out of their bodies. But hey, mobs are weird.
You just do it the old-fashioned way and shoot them all.
I don't do guns. They make me nervous. Kind of violent, really.
I'm not a really good shot. Unless you're about... And he holds his arm out about that far away.
All right, so... What if we just make them disappear?
Make them disappear.
No body, no crime scene, no nothing.
Then there will be more, and they will be targeting specifically. You know, they're reporting back into someone.
But if
They have to
if
be.
there's no sign of a fight or any of that, how do they know it was Kindred? If they're gonna move in either way, we just have to, chalk that up as an L and note that they're gonna send more. The question is, they can't blame anyone if there's no crime scene.
All right. Theoretically, let's move this down. All right, some hyperbole here. We have pest control that moves into a rat territory, and then all of the rats are still there, but all of the pest control is gone. It's not suddenly a windfall of storms that takes them out. They may be young, and they may be kind. They're not stupid.
Which is precisely why I think no matter what we do, they're going to blame us. So let's just do it. And whatever. Damn be the consequences of it. Like, we just...
Okay,
that's
that's
how I do things.
We've been thinking about this the wrong way. If we don't want to get the lupine involved, which I still think is a bad idea, what if we blame it on another Kindred? If they're gonna move into town and attack Kindred, it might as well be our enemy.
How do you stage that, though?
You don't. An accidental drop of something that points to Rose's club. Something left behind that can be tracked. We don't make it look purposeful, we make it look accidental.
Look, I'm open to ideas, but now we're complicating the math here.
No, we go in, we clean them out, kill them all just like we planned, and we drop a subtle clue. Let them put it together since they're so damn smart, and go to Rose's club.
We did want them to go to Rose's club.
They're already planning a hit on it, right? So when Big Boss Man, whoever they work for, finds out they plan to hit on a club and then that club turned around and hit them, there's no connection for us.
Sounds great, but please illuminate me here. I'd like to know what we're gonna do. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, what evidence could we leave that would trace them back to the club?
I don't know yet.
Can't exactly breadcrumb trace. I mean, maybe they got tracers, right?
I mean, Big Boss Man
Might
has
have
to know
bugs.
what their next hit is. He's gonna know they hit the club. He would think basic retaliation would be from those Kindred.
So we have to make sure we do this after they hit the club then. Otherwise, there's no pinning it on them.
Didn't we hear on the radio, Mathis, last time that they were going to hit the club? That they had plans to attack the location? Did we get any confirmation on that?
I don't know if there's confirmation on that. I think he had confirmation they had killed somebody, though. The club, I don't remember, because I don't think that was ever brought up by Ollie to them.
It was.
It was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, well then, it's probably on their radar. Oh no, yeah, because that was the information
That was
trade
the,
that was needed.
yeah,
for
we
them
were
leave.
trying
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
them to hit Rose's
Yeah,
club.
then I'm sure they're probably staking it out. You could check that out. I mean, the word over the microphone, I think hinted at it. I have to go back and listen. It's been a couple weeks, but
Okay.
it's safe to say that they're likely staking the club out at the very least.
I mean, waiting on
Okay.
them to hit the club would be a surefire, easy way for us to make a connection line and not take the blame.
It's a waiting game if you wanted that to be the case, more or less.
We can wait, I guess. McTavish ain't gonna wait. He didn't like the idea of waiting 3 days.
McTavish doesn't like anything. Who cares what he thinks?
Well, if we want to get on his good side and make this move, we should probably at least talk to him about it and say, hey, we want to pin this on this club, so let's stake out a couple of days and wait for them to make a move, and then we make a
And
move.
if they make a move, they might be a little bit weaker. Think about it.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get a hold of McTavish. Mathis, I usually
Ethel's your
just
best bet, usually.
Yeah.
show
go to the
up.
painted
Rather,
lady.
Edith, not Ethel.
Yeah, Edith is my... Okay. I guess club night?
Two club nights in a row. That's my favorite.
Uh,
Look, y'all go ahead. If that's the plan, then I want to get ahead of the game. I'm gonna go scope roses and see if I can find these hunters.
Good luck.
Find information. See if you can find any evidence that they're staking the place out.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us a head start. Okay, cool.
Is also Ava going with Dakota then?
Yes, I will go with Dakota.
So the two of you would depart. Is there anywhere you would be going right to the club? Is there any areas you wanted to stop at first?
I was trying to think if there was any other business. Oh, you know what? Can I just swing by Frank's house and pick up the Xerox copies?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Ava would be with you actually for this. So we will do. It's a little scene, nothing huge, but yeah, Ava with you at this point. So the two of you leave the bar and join a relatively busy street on this early Chicago evening, around 9 o'clock or so. People are bustling by, and of course, you're used to it by now. But the eyes that always trail and look a little longer at Ava than most things on the street are everywhere. But as you begin to walk toward the area, that's when Dakota starts to make a. Would you be like, let her know? Would you just like detour? At some point, Dakota realizes
I gotta stop to make. We gotta go really far north, and it's a hike on a skateboard. So if we could just.
Yeah, sure.
You gotta be chill though.
I'm always chill.
Yeah.
Ava doesn't even ask where you're going. You take your detour and you lead her much. Ava, you realize you're moving much further away from the center of town as the buildings kind of begin to peter out, and slowly they become your typical one-story family home racked up right next against to each other with their own little tiny backyards, almost all very identical looking. And as you that slowly begins to overtake kind of your scenery. Before Dakota, you get where you need to be, maybe 3 or 4 blocks out. You can just see a recognizable street with the street light that flickers nearby. A silhouette walks out in front of you from around the corner of the block. You're about halfway down, so maybe 100 to 150 feet in front of you. It doesn't really ring a bell or really stress you out all that much. It's still early. There are people strolling and enjoying their walk, so the crowds are much thinner out here. But as they get closer, can I have both of you make me a wits awareness check, please?
This is never good.
Okay, I got a 2. 2.
And a 2. Any of you want to use willpower? Well, Dakota, you only have 1. You
No,
can really
it's not.
re-roll.
Yeah,
so
no.
Ava would be the only one. If you wanted to re-roll, you could re-roll 3 of those.
I'll
No problem. As the person grows closer, it's someone who's a bit taller. What's your heights? I know Dakota's pretty short. How tall is Ava?
5'7".
So they're around your height, maybe an inch or 2 taller, not much. As they clearly don't try to deviate out of your path. And in fact, when you try to walk around them, they very obviously step in your way. They're wearing a hoodie that has just a typical kind of just like local school on it, with the hoodie pulled up and over, long jeans with sneakers, and their hands in their pocket. As they move to step in your way, obviously twice, do you say anything or do you let them say something first?
If they step in Dakota's way, Dakota is like a brick wall. She doesn't budge. She stops. Does the person look familiar?
As you get, again, closer, doesn't look familiar to either of you.
Oh.
They have a thick brown beard and deep hazel eyes. Do not look familiar.
Ava, you can't seduce this one.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I know you have a thing for hazel eyes, but you cannot.
It's, well...
So my question is there anything...
Can I help you?
Can we help you?
As you're growing closer, my question was, is there going to be, are we seeing an immediate discipline use off of anybody, or is it just okay. As they get close and you get closer and you both kind of say, can I help you? The individual's attention is very clearly turned toward one person of the two of you, Dakota. Their body language, the way they face, is all subtly turned toward Dakota. And as you say, can I help you? They do reply, you're only getting this once, Dakota. One chance. She's safe. Leave her. Ignore her. Our common background gives you one chance. If she sees you again, we will kill you. Your confusion has led her awry, and she moves thinking she can have peace between us and you. But she too can smell the worm taint on you, and that cannot be controlled. Stay away. She is safe, or you will die. With that, the person simply turns and walks away.
You know, they said the same thing the last time I faced one of them. You know that, right?
You say that loud enough where they might be able to hear you?
I whisper it to Ava.
Good.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Make me a little subterfuge check, please.
What kind of subterfuge check?
We'll say it's just a what do you call it? Let me look at the character sheet. I want to call probably for like a composure subterfuge check to keep you quiet. Yeah, do give me a composure subterfuge because they have. You're not dealing with. He's not in. We won't say he's in human form, but you failed your wit's awareness, so you couldn't see much else.
I rouse for this one.
Sure.
Composure subterfuge. This is not the worst roll I could make.
Nope.
Gotta play with fire, y'all. A messy critical.
Wow. Whoa, what a roll. No! What a roll. And you know what? Because you rolled 2 normal criticals, the messy critical gets ignored. You just roll a 10 because you rolled 2 criticals up top. He does not hear you. I won't even make an opposed roll.
Shit.
You rolled a critical. He walks away, and as you lean in and whisper to Ava, he continues to stroll around the corner.
Well, it seems you've got their attention, Dakota.
No, it seems Hannah has got their attention, Ava.
Yeah, but now they know that you are...
They don't know anything.
How do you know Hannah hasn't told them everything?
She might have. If I don't admit to it.
Well, we should probably listen to the nice man with hazel eyes.
Look, the last time they were like, stay away from us, okay? Hannah came running back to me because of them. I cannot and will not control her the way they're going to try to.
Do you really want a pack of them at the Lights Out pub knocking on the door?
I have no interest in seeing them attend the Lights Out pub unless they want to follow Ollie's rules. That is the deal. Other than that, have I gone looking for Hannah? Have I sought her out? She comes back to me every time. Why? Because she trusts me, not them.
Or she wants to hunt you because you stink, according to her.
No, you all stink. I smell better at least than you for once in my life.
Maybe slightly, but you're still foul to them.
Okay, you know what? Ava, that might be true. But in the end, those Lupine never gave a fuck about her. I made sure she had a home, and food, and somebody to love her.
You find yourself mid rant in front of Frank's house, stopping as you continue talking.
And before we go in, it should be well known that when push came to shove and she needed help, she didn't come knocking at their fucking door.
Fine. You know what? Normally I would be a lot more angry about this and saying we should leave them the fuck alone, but
no, I'm not gonna leave them the fuck alone. They took Hannah, but I'm gonna let them think I did.
That's fine. You know what? I can relate now, so I know what it's like to care about somebody.
Oh, it is a big night.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, well,
Dakota.
Chill, remember?
Yes.
Up to the front door, and you just kind of a couple heavy knocks. You can see the usual flickering light through the front window of a TV that has been left on for God knows how long. And eventually you hear a gruff voice on the other side. Yeah, who is it?
Who do you think it is?
You hear a deadbolt, a chain lock, and then the normal lock all unlock. And then he cracks the door open, looks through just to be sure, and sees you and Ava. You've never brought company to my place before. What's going on?
Well, this is my date for the night, and I have a pit stop to make, so she's coming along. And if we leave her on the street, it's going to draw some attention, if you know what I mean. So
he's like mid-conversation, he opens the door just enough for you two to come in. He's like, just kind of waves you in. And as you file in, he shuts the door, chains it, deadbolts it, locks it. And Ava, as you step in, you step onto what is a unfortunate, crunchy, old, what was maybe white at some point, but now a deep yellow carpet that has sat on this floor for maybe since the house has been built.
So what you're saying is I'm taking my Bane penalties here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You can see a very comfortable, well-worn-in, like lazy boy chair with a TV table out front with a couple of empty beer cans and a frozen dinner halfway eaten through. And on the TV, Wheel of Fortune is playing. A couch nearby seems completely untouched, though still very, very old. And there's a few portraits lingering about, but a few of them are pulled face down. The ones that aren't are of either Frank and a young kid that looks to be maybe his boy, or just Frank by himself at the police academy with promotions and all that stuff. As the door shuts and locks it, he goes to his chair and he kind of plops into it. And underneath his empty beers, he was keeping the folder of Xerox files, and he slides out the manila folder with a couple of ring stains on the top. And he just haphazardly hands them over to you as he reaches over for a cigarette in his front pocket and throws it into his mouth and offers Ava one because he's never seen Ava before and he doesn't know. So he's handing off the Xerox in one hand, on the other he's offering Ava a cigarette.
I'm good, thank you.
I take the Xeroxes and...
Who's she?
My sister.
No, who is she?
My sister.
Name.
Ava.
This is
Nice
Frank.
I've heard good things about you, Frank.
Say good things, Frank.
I've heard nothing about you.
That's for your safety, Frank.
Well, now you're in my front door, so it becomes more or less.
Well, I had to
about my safety.
Come pick up the Xerox copies. So you were going to drop them off.
Makes you feel better. I don't think I'll be making regular stops unless you want me to.
He actually gives you a look, but he doesn't give you like an eyebrow raise or anything. He just kind of gives you a weird little dead gaze as he takes a long drag from his cigarettes.
Just trying to have fun.
I'm fucking exhausted. Have you figured out what the fuck happened? Because people are up my ass and I'm running out of time.
It is time, so Dakota hands over a vial of her blood, right? He is Gould, so she hands it over in exchange and takes the folder. And I said, so, hear me out. I'm going to give you some options, Frank. Options. It's come to my attention there's a dog fighting rink here in Chicago.
Which one?
One by, God, the guy's name is on my list of NPCs.
Did I say Felix?
Felix, sounds right. Yeah, Felix.
Right, yeah.
He goes by the name of Felix. Pretty bad guy. I don't really want the dogs hurt, but if you want somebody that could potentially fit the MO of, I don't know, tearing people apart, that seemed like a good one. But I've got an even better one for you. It's been a long time since Chicago's had a nice little monster story to keep the kids off the street at night, yeah?
I got my ears.
About 2 years ago, some big cats went missing from the zoo. Never recovered.
I remember that, yeah.
What's to say they're not still roaming about the streets of Chicago, and this wasn't just their attack?
Yeah, that sounds more believable. Question is there a place I can find them without bringing them in, or at least pointing to somewhere?
If you find them, the legendary tale doesn't work. You gotta sell it to fucking paparazzi and shit as like, you know, the two scary cats of the streets of Chicago, you know what I mean?
And he nods along as you say that, taking another final drag of his cigarette, having it gone in 3 quick, giant, entire drags of it, putting out what's left. Yeah, all right, that'll work.
And if you leave it open, if the lupine attack again, just big kitty cats.
Can we just call them dogs? I feel stupid saying.
What, kitty cat?
No, lupine.
Sure, if that makes you feel better, Frank, we'll call them dogs. But you know what I mean. So, I appreciate this. You got what you need.
What about you?
What about me?
No, what about you?
I'm fine.
Are you safe?
Yeah, look at me. No black eye. Busted lip gone. Like a new me.
Well, the department hasn't calmed down in any way, so I figure you're still up to whatever shit you've been up to for the past few years.
Maybe. But don't you worry, Frank. Some of that's going to come to a close real soon, right, Ava?
Yes. Very much so.
If you want my, 2 cents, you should retire, Frank, and get the fuck out of Chicago. At least out of Berwyn Park.
I appreciate the sentiment. I thought about it many times, but this is all I got. Chicago is me. I am Chicago. I ain't leaving the streets.
Well, then maybe you just want to move a few blocks up because, you live in lupine territory, buddy. Oh, I'm sorry. Doggies run the streets here.
Dakota. Don't get yourself killed, kid.
I haven't yet.
I appreciate these warnings, but I've been living here my whole life.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not at the top of their list.
Well, the more of that you consume, you will be. So, if you want to retire in an upscale apartment over, maybe a movie theater, south side of Chicago, you let me know. Pawn shop lady works right down the street. She's real nice. Think you'd like her. Did you drop by and talk to her? You didn't do that, did you?
No.
You should do that.
Dakota ain't moving.
I
ain't moving because my kid lives down this street. I'm not moving. If you must know.
How about this? This is your neighborhood, right? They haven't picked up on you yet.
Yet.
They took something of mine. A little girl. She's about 12. If you see her, just let me know.
12-year-old girl.
And I'll give them kind of a rough description. Dark hair, yay high, big eyes, the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I just had a loss of words tonight. Sorry.
What happened?
Shit's crazy at the department, like I said. I'm in it, right? Can't get out of it.
You could retire.
I'm not retiring.
Sit on a pension, smoke a bunch of cigarettes.
Watch my city fall apart while I slowly kill myself on cigarettes.
Go into private detective work, Frank. Come on, you gotta do something better than work in the police department.
Yeah, I'm a fuck up. I get it, but
No, you're not a fuck up. They're the fuck up. You just happen to be in the middle of their fuck up. That's not your fuck up.
The department used to be filled with good people. I'll be fucking damned if I'm gonna cower out and quit and give him another seat to fill with another corrupt fuck.
All right, Frank. Don't get your blood pressure up.
You see him pull another cigarette as you say that out of his front pocket?
Just,
They've been cutting me off, Dakota.
Cutting you off.
Less information, less cases. They just say shit's slow or they don't need it. I ain't stupid. I don't know why. I don't know if they even know that I talk to you.
What can you do to get that
I ain't
trust?
in their fucking circle.
How do you get in their circle?
And that's all that matters. I don't know. Because the people that have fucking in this circle have been people that have been put into the goddamn police department in the past 5 years.
All right.
I've been there for 20 goddamn years.
Okay. Well, watch your back, Frank. And you could use a partner.
Whatever the hell is happening, Dakota, I know you're fucking tied up to it. That's my concern. That's been my concern since day one.
Frank. It's okay. I don't need you to be worried about me, man. I got
Who else is going to worry about you, kid? Because she ain't looking like she's worrying about anything other than the way she puts her makeup on in the morning.
Hey, be nice. I asked her to be cool. You gotta be cool, too. And she's had my back just as much as you've had my back, so don't get sassy. Just lay low. Go under the radar.
Dakota, have you ever listened to a damn thing I've ever told you?
Frank, you know I've heard every fucking word you've ever told me.
Advice. I mean advice, kid.
Yeah, you told me to get out. And you know what? You're not, so I'm not.
You're not, so I'm not.
All right.
I ain't laying low. These fuckers are going to take me down. I'm going to go down swinging.
Yeah, when the timing is right. You know anything about, like, just bide your time. And wait till the right moment to strike, and don't be a dumbass. Because I'm telling you, Frank, if somebody puts lead in your chest, I am going to rage. And you're right. As long as you're at the fucking police department, it'll be a better place.
If you fucking get hurt or disappear, I don't know what I'll do. But I can't lose another fucking kid, Dakota.
Well, Frank, I know I look a hot 16, but I'm 30. I'm not a kid anymore. But I appreciate the sentimentality.
I don't understand, do you, kid? You don't get it. I don't expect you to. I lost my boy. I lost my marriage. I lost my life. And then I lost a fucking building of children. I don't have much goddamn left. And I fucked up. I get it.
Frank.
But old man hasn't. But I'm gonna make right.
Frank, you shouldn't blame yourself for other people's actions.
I ain't blaming myself fully.
Well, the mound of cigarette butts and raging alcohol problem says otherwise.
Oh, that's just a habit I kept from dealing with my ex-wife.
Okay. Well, you know what? You don't have to deal with her anymore. Surprise. So what, do you want her around? You don't want her around. You live down the street from your kid. You know, you got a roof over your head, and now you got another kid, right? So, you know, shit's not really that bad. So get out of the pity party, Frank. You want to fucking do these assholes at the police department in? You're going to have to be on your fucking A game, because they are.
I'm in as you're in.
All right. Well, then, shape up, get it together.
But if you
Dakota,
die...
I feel like this is a conversation going in circles.
Tell me who I need to find if you go missing.
Oh, God.
Give me a name. That'll make me feel better.
How about this? If I go missing,
This is...
Ava will come tell you. And tell you exactly who to get.
I can do that.
He merely, like, it waits a beat, and then he nods with a solid nod as though he just kind of agrees. And that's when he lights a second cigarette.
And if I go missing, leave town.
No promises. Let's get out of here.
We do have a busy night. Dakota, we should probably be on our way.
I get to go be social. Bye, Frank.
Gives you both like a half-hearted wave as he reaches for his remote control and he starts upping the volume. You can hear the wheel getting much louder.
I lock the door before I kind of slam it shut.
Yep, and you both leave and step down and quickly make your way to the sidewalk.
That man is who you're giving your blood to?
He is a detective for the city of Chicago, and he's covered our asses more than one occasion. And yes, he is the man I'm giving blood to.
Well, it seems like his resources are going to be getting less and less useful.
As long as he's on the inside.
It is nice to have that.
And I thumbed through these horrific crime scene photos. Yes. We got pictures to look at.
Oh, God. Okay.
As she flips through the photos of just crime scenes left with nothing but gore and entrails and bits of body parts strewn in random places, our camera will fade. And we're picked back up with the sounds of a semi-busy street as we watch Oliver walk into camera, blocking out our view for a while as he strolls confidently and quietly down the street. Not too far down the rack alley, just a bit further north is the club you're looking for. Are you just going to the plan just to stroll by and just kind of get an eye on it, hang out? What is Ollie's full-on plan heading to this club?
Ollie is going to look for the places that he would expect to see spotters, watchers.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a wits investigation check. I imagine you're gonna be spending quite a bit of time.
Yeah, Ollie will. Yeah, he's gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to go unseen here.
Okay. No hunger gained.
You said wits investigation? Or
Yes,
wits
sir.
awareness?
Wits investigation. Awareness is more of like a quick look around. Your investigation is you're spending the time to peep.
Yeah. Not his best, but not his worst. I got a success. One success.
And you're just spending your time on the wait, why is it all hunger dice? Are you a hunger 4?
I am.
Wow, holy shit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were that high. I forgot about the last episode putting you
Yeah.
that high. Let's see. So with one success, it's kind of walking around on the outside and checking the rooftops that you know would be good places to spy from, or perhaps seeing if there's any empty apartments in the nearby area, or even maybe spending the time to see if any apartments have been recently rented in the nearby area, spending a couple hours going through newspapers and such. Nothing on the outside screams being watched from. But Ollie is well aware that they're mortals, and if they are mortals, getting into the club unsuspectingly is probably pretty simple.
Okay. Okay. Then he's gonna take. This is gonna be a couple of hours, I think. So he's gonna take stock of the people coming and going, watching where they move, and seeing if anybody makes the move back to
where is Ollie
the direction.
Spending time doing this? Like on a rooftop?
I think it's rooftop. Never really dropping unseen passage.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and make me another wits and investigation roll, if you would.
Yeah. Three successes.
Three successes is much better. And you spend, again, like you said, your plan is to spend a few hours up here, a couple hours at least, watching, just taking note, seeing if any people stick out, maybe a familiar face or something. And it's difficult from up top to see faces, but you're patient. And it's not faces that stick out to you when you finally notice something. It's a repeated pattern that's not necessarily on the dot, but a familiar looking car passes by. Initially, the first time, it doesn't really stick out to you because they just kind of park nearby. A person pops out and jumps into line, and it drives off. Another hour and 15 minutes later or so, a similar looking car, it's hard to tell if it's the same car, drives by, but this time 2 people popped out. It looks like 2 party girls who are dressed and enjoying and laughing loudly, jump into line. The first person already well inside the club. And then another 47 minutes pass, just a certain amount of time. And it's on the third time. Yeah, that's definitely that car. Yeah. You watch as it drives by and drops another person off. The car itself is pretty nondescript. A dark gray paint, just kind of boring looking license plates, nothing that like sticks out. Nothing about the car jumps out. And it's not unsurprising to see tinted windows on a car because in Chicago, loads of people tint their fucking windows just to have tinted windows.
Sure. What are the odds that I'd seen this car near the alley that they park?
You would, if you would have recognized it, I would have said you recognized it. Okay. It's you wouldn't be surprised if this is. I mean, there's any number of ways they could get a car that you don't recognize.
Sure. Okay, where does it park or does it continue?
No, it pulls by, it slows and stops, drops people off, and then leaves. And then you only see it again, and it's on the third time as it's driving up that you are confident this is the same vehicle.
Okay. I mean, let's see. But he's not picking people up. He's just driving. They're dropping people off.
Not a single pickup has happened. It's been dropping off of a total of 4 people. 1, 2, 1.
1, 2, 1. All female?
No, male, 2 females, and a male.
Anything about these people stick out, at least from the moment that I started recognizing?
No, they don't look familiar, but that doesn't mean anything again.
Okay. My question really is would Ollie think that this is standout, or would Ollie consider this like
it is the only pattern you've picked up on? It stands out to Ollie. It absolutely
stands out
does.
to Ollie. Okay. Yep. Can I see the direction the car is going?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can see it pulling off it's pulling up from your left because I'm assuming you're across the street.
Sure.
It slows down in the quick traffic of cars and people, and then it kind of merges back with traffic and heads to the right.
Okay. What hour is it?
At this point, you've spent about 4 hours, so it's probably midnight at this point.
And how many people are on the street?
A good chunk.
Good chunk of people.
I mean, yeah, people still in line to get. This is a club is always heavily like populated.
Sure. I think Ollie's going to continue waiting to see if anybody moves. If any of those figures move outside of the building, particularly Solo, if they head to the alley, Ollie is he's gonna play a little dangerously. He's got to feed. He needs to feed.
Oh, true. Would you wait till club closing, or would you give up after a certain long? Because the club closes in about 3 to 4 hours from now, about 3 a.m. ish.
Well, I can't imagine that Ava and Dakota wouldn't at some point come looking for him if he's been gone all night.
So yeah, I mean, we can scene cut for now and have them come back to the club, and I mean not the club, yeah, to Lights Out Pub rather, if you want. But I'm curious, would you, if an hour passes and no one has come out of the club or the car is not returned, does Ollie want to feed before continuing to watch?
My next question is, what is the camera situation like outside?
Your typical modern security with like the the dome cameras on the front door, over by the corners of the building. I mean, people with money and are in the inner part where it's like well funded. Security's pretty tight on most buildings.
Does the camera look like it hits the alley much?
Yes, you can see it definitely. It's not the inside of the alley, but it can definitely see the entrance of the alley. So people going in and out from it.
Okay. So the entrance has been covered, but yeah. All right, then. No,
I mean, you could jump to the roof and slip in from the alley on the side without walking in the front part of the alley. That's always an option.
Right. I think what it boils down to is if there's a means to get someone into the alley without being seen. And I don't know if Ollie has a way to do that just yet. Maybe if he had access to Ava or Dakota here, probably be a little easier.
So we'll say Ollie holds back on feeding for caution's sake, no matter how difficult it is at 4. So then before we get to the next scene, then I guess as Dakota and Ava have arrived back at the Lights Out Pub, you've been gone for how long now? How long do you think you two left for?
I mean, it probably took us, an hour at Frank's?
Hour there, hour back, so a couple of hours or so. So by the time you get back to the Lights Out Pub, it's probably closer to 10 or 11 at this point, maybe a little bit past 10 o'clock. And strolling in the front of the place is, busy as usual, and many of Ava's faceless servants have doing their job, serving the food, pouring the beer and the like. And as you make your way into the back, there is Grant is flipping burgers, and he's got some new guy who's like doing prep work for him in the back.
Did we go to the Painted Lady? That's where we were headed.
Oh, right. You're going to the Painted Lady. So
actually,
so they might not know that you might be gone, Ollie, because they're going to go to the Painted Lady, and they're going to be gone for a while as well. So we might not need to scene cut here if there's if you're willing to wait till the club close, because the Painted Lady's on the opposite side. It's like totally opposite side of where Ava, because she's over by the rack, and then Edith's club's way out to the west.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we can just meet up like at the end of the night, basically.
I guess my question is just for Ollie. It's like, would you wait till close? If you don't see anybody being dropped off, you would wait till close. Then the thing that I would say Ollie would notice is as the club closes, the music is being winded down. People are straggling out. That same gray car pulls up, but instead of dropping a single person off, it picks up 4 people all at once.
How are they moving?
What do you mean? How
are they are they intoxicated?
Oh, do they look intoxicated? Go make me a wits awareness check from up here to see if that's like something you pick up on.
Sure. I just want to know if there's like, is it single file? Do they appear uniform? Are they looking intoxicated? 4 successes.
4 successes. As you watch them, they're not walking single file. They're actually walking like a group of friends chatting to each other. And as you watch them, while they're giggling and laughing and maybe having a good time, they don't look inebriated. They're not stumbling. The words you're able to catch from even this high up don't seem necessarily slurred. There's not a lot of messiness with their outward presentation. And as they approach the car, they just kind of all go in one at a time.
Okay, then Ollie wants to follow the car.
Okay. You wish to follow the car.
Just Batmaning it, like wall crawling.
So we will soft cut to the two girls who, after leaving Frank's, I'm curious if Ava has any discussion with Dakota about Frank, or does she just kind of leave it alone?
I would also ask about does your pal Frank he mentioned a bunch of kids that he lost.
Yeah.
Any
Ava,
connection?
You were there.
I didn't know he was connected to that.
He was running the case.
Shit. Is he the one that gave us the info on that place when we first went there?
No. He covered the case after.
I see.
But while I've got you in my personal space, I had a question.
Yes.
I thought of everybody that I know, only Ava Heloise could give me maybe some perspective. So, what do you do when two people like you and you like two people?
Well, there's a couple of options.
Okay.
You could try dating both people.
Wait, that's an option?
That is an option, yes. Usually it requires some level of talking about it. And
do you talk about it with all the people who you date?
No, I don't.
So is this just for me?
Do as I say, not as I
Got
do.
It. Okay, so
especially if you care about these people.
Best practice, okay.
The other option is you take time to figure it out. Honestly, feelings are very complicated, and it's not something you can just kind of look at and figure out and analyze. It takes time to understand your own feelings and who you care about and who you can see yourself with for the rest of your life, kind of thing.
What? Wait.
Okay, sorry, I jumped a little.
Pause. There. I'm not sure. Okay, Ava. I will forever be caught in the body of a 16-year-old. I will never settle down and be somebody's wife.
No. And honestly, I could never picture you settling down like that.
That's good. At least we're on the same page there. So, let's just rewind the last half of what you said to back to the part where you can date two people.
Have them fight for you,
Yeah, that was option 3.
Yeah, you said there were 3 options.
Yes, the third option is just lead them both on and have them both fight over who you care about more, or who cares about you more.
Cool.
That one I almost had happen with Saito and Crowley for a moment, but we let that one. That one just kind of move forward.
Dueling for my attention aside. Maybe I should. Okay, you know what? I don't really have anybody else to ask about this. Okay, you know what? I will take some time and simmer on your perspective, Ava.
But in all seriousness, Dakota, like I said, I know you don't like to think about feelings and stuff, and you wish people were as level-headed as you.
I think about feelings. I think about feelings.
The last time when we talked about Bella and her love of Snitch, you thought it was the stupidest shit ever, and it caused way more problems than it needed to.
But you don't understand shit. But that doesn't mean I don't have feelings. I have feelings.
And that's the thing. People do incredible things for the people they care about, and sometimes it seems irrational. Sometimes it seems not what the decision another person would make from the outside. But on the inside, when you care about a person, you realize you will do a lot of really stupid shit. So just think about these two people and who you would go to the ends of the earth for.
Wow. I just learned so much about you, Ava Heloise.
This is advice for you,
right?
Dakota.
Of course, it is all for me.
Just again, think about it. Try to figure out how you're feeling about it. You're not gonna hit a revelation overnight. It's gonna take time. That's all I'm trying to say.
Thank you for your valued perspective.
And for what it's worth, I really think you should keep trying for Damien.
Okay, that was not what I asked. And as much as I would like to know why you think I should pine for Damien, I will think about it.
What if Ava's response to that question? I know I'm a DM man, but what if her response was, because if you don't, I will?
Okay, well.
Because that's what, in my mind, I just heard that, like, as a reply.
No.
That's hilarious to me. Anyway, sorry, that's all I had. The
Damien
voice of
already
God
said,
goes away.
Damien said I wasn't his type, so, you know.
I'm not even sure Damien has a type. His guitar.
I think you're his type, Dakota.
He's way older than me.
You both look the similar ages.
Okay, can we talk about how easy it is to walk down the street together? Like, nobody looks at you, nobody stares, nobody thinks it's weird. We don't end up in places where, like, you know, technically I'm underage. We hang at, like, parks and back alleyways and normal teenage things. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it is kind of nice. That being said, I don't want to talk about me anymore. And since I know everything there is to know about how you feel about, you know, Saito and all of that now.
Are you sure you do? Are you sure you know everything?
I feel like there was a lot of projecting happening in this conversation. We should hit the club. Do you want to come with me to speak to Edith about McTavish, or would you like to prowl?
I'll prowl. I'll do my usual at the club.
Great.
Dance, drink.
What day is today?
Last time we were there,
we have to know.
We were there on
We were on Freaky Friday, I think.
So it's
Sausage Saturday?
Oh no! It's the worst day to be
it's
at
the
the
next
club.
day. It literally is the next day. So
It's the worst day to
Sausage
be at the
Saturday,
club.
baby.
Worst day to be at the club. Okay.
Oh, not Safety Sunday. Damn.
no, not Safety Sunday.
This is my least favorite day at the club. I want you to know. Whoever
It's my
decided-
favorite.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Nothing like a bunch of sausages swinging around to make you really feel at home.
On that venomous last little sentence, we hear your footsteps on concrete transition slowly to footsteps on metal rail. And as you're walking toward a very familiar door where you can hear the very muted sound of music in the background as Rat Tail quickly ripples into existence. Oh, hey, how's it going, girls?
Hey.
May I? And he just like reaches for the card that he always does.
We're
Card.
back.
He looks to it, flips it upside down.
How are the sausages tonight? Well cooked.
He just kind of like nods emphatically with a huge grin, and he hands each card back over to you as he steps out of the way.
Speaking of giant sausages, has McTavish come through tonight?
Sorry.
So, he might. Sometimes when he shows up, he enters in ways that I don't know. I'm a front door kind of bouncer guy. You know?
He's a backdoor kind of sausage. Got it. Okay, well.
And I was gonna say the sausage are a lot more raw than I'd like.
It's gonna be one of those Saturdays. Suit up, Ava Eloise.
I'm suited.
He quickly coughs. And if you ever see Bass,
Right. We meant to
still-
put in a good word for you with Boss. Yes.
still haven't heard from her or nothing. So
I'm sure she's just busy.
She'll come around.
he steps back out of the way, and is like, it's not about those religious types, you know.
More
I know.
trauma, just what I need. You know what? Save your projecting for yourself. I've had enough of Ava Eloise tonight.
And you step by him as he disappears from your view and open the door to the song "It's Raining Men." As you step inside, the door slams shut behind you. It's the club remix version.
Fucking hate
And down
it.
below, you can see maybe a handful of women, but all the rest are men of all ages, older, younger, kindred in kind. It is a Fangs Out club, of course, but you can clearly see Brett dancing around. He's spinning and he's a circle of guys around him, and as he's dancing around, he's like slapping each ball sack as he goes through each one, giving him a wink, and they're all like having a great goddamn time.
Nothing like a banana and a pile of sausages to really make you hate men.
And you watch as he's clearly playing a game. He like snaps the underwear one, and the one walks away, and then he starts flipping ball sacks again to the ones that remain. That's what you see as you stand up onto the club below.
I'm gonna go into the back room. I'll let you partake
Dakota
in
quick,
the
just
slapping.
like, yeah. I imagine you might not even finish your sentence. You're like, I'm gonna go. And Dakota quickly, with her hoodie probably thrown up, down the stairs. It's not quite a jog, but that speed walk. What is Ava doing?
Ava's going right to the floor with the sausages. Ava's gonna have some fun.
You go head over to
go to my boy Brett. It's been a while.
As you walked over to him, and he's snapping the underwear of somebody else who's walking away with a sad look on his face. Before he begins slapping the next sacks, he actually sees you, and he actually will push through the circle. Ava Eloise, I don't think I've seen you on a Sausage Saturday in like 4 years. And he walks over wearing his bright yellow, shining metallic thong.
Oh my god!
And that's all he has on.
His banana is completely hammocked tonight.
It is hammocked and nothing more.
Gold. It is hammocked
His
in gold.
hair is let down completely.
Oh my god!
You can see a droplet of blood just on the corner of his lip.
Have I been missing out, Brett Stryker? It is good to see you.
And the way you say that, it's clear he hasn't heard you say that within that tone in so long. And very quickly, his attention from the strangers behind him is utterly dissipated as he puts his arm around you and he pulls you to the dance floor. He's like, let me show you what Sausage Saturday is all about.
Oh God, I will oblige with Brett for some time.
What's your hunger at? Do you need to feed? There's plenty of mortals around.
I don't, which is disappointing because I would have gladly fed, but I'm at hunger one.
What about you, Dakota? Are you hungry at all?
Nope, I'm all set.
Recently, but you're
I can't heal anything else, so now I'm just hunger one.
You make your way to the back door. There's your typical security standing on the outside of it. It's actually the guy from the other night. You were just here, and he recognizes you, and he says, "You want me to ask her if she's free?"
If you don't mind, or if McTavish is in there, he can just step out of his hidey hole.
He doesn't respond to that and turns around, does a gentle knock as he peeks his head in. There's a few brief words exchanged before he steps back and opens the door all the way. You see on the inside, sitting on the couch, Edith. There's her legs crossed as she's reading through a book of some sort, a very old-looking book. Paperback, not hard-covered, but it's worn, well-read. You can see the yellowing of the pages even this far out. And as you step in, she snaps the book kind of gently closed and places it next to her, uncrosses her legs, and stands up to walk over to you and greet you.
A book connoisseur, huh? Dare I ask what story enwraps the great Edith?
She gives a very gentle smile as she reaches her bony hand and long, elongated fingers out to shake yours. And as she smiles, she goes, just a classic favorite, Pride and Prejudice.
Would not have guessed, but you are a classic.
She gestures to the couch wordlessly as though to take a seat, or invites you to take a seat.
I won't be long, and I do appreciate you putting down the pages of Pride and Prejudice to speak to me. I was hoping to speak with McTavish about the deal we made the other night. We have some thoughts and have done some more staking out and thought we would make a plan of attack, if you know what I mean, but he's a hard fella to find.
She as she listens and you kind of wrap your sentence up, she gently nods, looks over to her right, and she just kind of make a gesture to one of the security guards. He wanders off into one of the other rooms that are attached to this kind of round circular room, and as he walks out with a young girl, age 8 or 9, and doesn't smile. She simply has a stoic look on her face, and Edith looks over. Whatever it is you need to tell him, you can tell her, and I'll ensure the message is passed along.
Right. Did I ever learn this girl's name?
Nope. And she looks to you silently.
Ooh, do you have a name?
None of your business.
Okay. Well, so much for being polite. We need to buy a few days.
She just listens. That's it? That's the message?
We need a little bit of a cover for our attack. We had already planted a seed for these SI to attack the La Sombra Club near the rack. If they are in fact going to make the attack, we want to wait for ours until after, so that fingers don't come pointed back at us. Instead, it's pointed at Clan La Sombra.
She nods at that, doesn't really say much else. Is that it?
Oh, and remind McTavish. Gather.
She just nods. Doesn't really have anything to say. She doesn't really talk all that much. And as if that's the end of it,
do you have a beer preference?
A 9.
Okay, I didn't know. I don't know. Does McTavish have a beer preference?
She just shakes her head.
You don't.
She walks and she begins to walk away.
Okay,
and as
you know
turns,
what?
You
I'm
see...
gonna crack McTavish and you're next.
She doesn't even turn around. As she walks away, you can see a child-sized steak kind of just slid into her back jeans, sticking out just enough. And she walks into the room as the door shuts.
Well, Jeez. Edith, you are, as always, probably the most helpful person in this city.
I guess I appreciate that. I'm sorry so much of our kind has been unhelpful.
Oh, well, you know, it's not that they're unhelpful, they're just unreliable, and you, Edith, you always come through.
She just kind of makes an open gesture with her hand. I find it's better to attract with honey than vinegar.
Me too, Edith, me too. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't like the taste of my honey, if you know what I mean.
I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but that seems to run true with most gangrel.
Yeah, well, you know what? Once you get a taste.
She smiles. I would have to agree. The gangrel themselves are one of the more free of the clans.
Yeah, but in our freedom, we have played into the plot of the Camarilla. They want us separated.
When aren't you playing into somebody's plot, Dakota?
It's true, but I'd really like to play into our own plot, you know what I mean? See the gangrel rise and do their own thing, truly live in real freedom.
And while the mention of pseudo politics in business is kind of wishy-washy in the moment, she very quickly actually brings the conversation to a more personal level. Oh. Not necessarily like picking apart details, but she reaches her left hand over and with her really bony and tendon-like looking fingers, grabs your hand gently and actually rolls the sleeve up just a little bit to admire some of the work that you had gotten done from here plenty of times. And she traces one of her long fingernails on the outline of one of them. What would be the one that would be on your right arm toward the base of your wrist?
Yeah, like on the forearm kind of area. Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting.
You have so many tattoos.
I have so many tattoos at this point.
If you want to, you could think about it.
Yeah, I imagine it's a pretty large one, right? It's going to be something large if it's on Dakota's arm, covering like a lot of space instead of a lot of small things kind of pieced together. And my gut tells me it's got to be something good. Oh, and something personal. Okay. I imagine it is, because why the fuck would it not be? You know how sailors get the mermaid on their forearms? Sailors will get one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think Dakota has one, but it's kind of like a joke version of that because she lives on a boat. And it's instead it's one of the pit bulls from waist up and then waist down. It's like it's like a mermaid, right? It's like a sexy pit bull posed as a mermaid, as a little bit of a joke to her life on the sea.
And she kind of again traces one of her long fingernails on the outline of the tattoo, with a small smile on her face. I know I've only done a few of yours, but the work here by all the people is always so impressive. Have you thought about getting another one recently? It's been a while.
It has. Are you offering to do mine?
She takes a moment. It would be my pleasure. Not tonight. I want you to think on it.
Yeah, I would be honored, Edith.
No, don't take it as that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Okay, well, again, tasting that gangrel honey, you know what I mean? Just take it easy. I'll think about it. I have an idea, but I won't know until after the gather.
She kind of just lets that sit. And as maybe a silence kind of creeps over the entire room, and maybe Dakota feels like the conversation's coming to an end, she once again interrupts and almost brings it back to real. Dakota's not quite ready to go yet. Edith isn't quite ready to let her go yet. She pulls out that long cigarette holder that she smokes from occasionally, the one that's like this long with the cigarette end, and she lights it and she offers you a hit. Jesus, it's not weed. She offers you a drag off of it. I know you've denied it in the past, but It's habitual for her to offer.
Yeah,
and
it's kind. Yeah.
She smokes, and as she lets the smoke out, you can see it eeping out of some of the cracks near her lips before it actually falls out of her entirely. You see her kind of running her tongue across her teeth. You can't quite get the flavor it used to have when you were breathing, but there's still something calming about it. Do you have any habits that you've carried over?
Well, I was just a kid, remember? It's hard to form habits as a kid, and I guess you could say smoking is not really my fancy. Had a bad run-in with the wrong end of a cigarette, you know?
I want to ask you something. It might seem out of the blue, but...
All right.
I've been curious for a while. I want you to tell me... Dakota, could you tell me about who your sire was?
Do you want me to, or can I?
I want you to.
Yeah. She was, some random woman who picked me up. Wrong place, wrong time by myself, I guess.
How long ago?
Oh, well, let's see. I was turned at 16, so 20-something years now. 18 years.
You don't know her name?
I do. It's just written down. I gotta find it.
Oh, yeah.
What was her name? I might have to pull up the old character sheet for that.
You might. We'll say you give the name for now.
Yeah. She called herself Rika.
Give me a wits awareness.
Oh, shit, Mathis.
Oh, what? Why?
Yeah, wait, no, that's incorrect. Yeah, why, Mathis?
Just do what I tell you to.
Okay, yep, just gonna roll the roll. 3.
Nothing really kind of you pick up on. And how long did you end up spending with her?
Long enough for her to transport me in a truck to Chicago and dump me on the streets.
That's what happened? She dumped you?
Yeah.
So how long did you spend with her in total?
A few nights. Had to get out of the desert, you know, sun and all of that.
And she never told you why, or?
Well, I imagine it's the same reason everybody dumps old Dakota Rain.
No, I meant why she embraced you.
I suspected it's because I was alone. Easy picking. Was a little fucked up. Partying in the desert with a bunch of dirty hippies, I don't know. Was easy to pick out.
She does, like, her gaze turns away from you, and she lingers, takes a drag, clearly loses herself in thought for a few minutes.
I would love to regale you with a great traumatic tale of how my sire turned me, and it was all poetic and beautiful, and we hated each other, or we loved each other, or whatever. That's not really how it worked out for old Dakota.
Oh, you're one of the unfortunate orphans, I know.
Yeah.
Many of our kind end up in that position.
But don't fret, Edith. There have been quite a few people in Chicago who have felt the need to adopt old orphan Dakota.
She shakes her head at that, and in a way that she knows what you're talking about when you say that. And she, after her nod quickly turns to a gentle, just when she shakes her head at the end turns into a nod. I'm not trying to adopt you, Dakota. I promise you that.
It hasn't worked out great for anybody else either.
But isn't it weird? You know, you spent so long in Chicago as this disregarded trash, and you may be arguably one of the most influential kindred in the past decade in Chicago.
Well, you and I both know Ava Heloise gives me a ride for that. She might be wearing the gold medal.
Well, let's just reiterate then. It's the loud ones as a whole, shall we say?
Yeah, we tend to make a little bit of ruckus, but I don't know about influential. But I care.
Ruckus? Well, can ruckus not be influential?
Oh, of course it can, in a anarchy kind of way, but we make it work and make it look good.
I think you downplay your successes.
Maybe. I have no reason to upplay them.
No, but you can accept and be proud of them for what they are.
I guess. I've watched many a person fall to pride, including our own prince.
In this very building, you took down a sheriff that you deemed corrupt and held you for crimes that you shouldn't have been held accountable for.
Oliver Hopkins took down that sheriff. I just kind of was the thorn in his side, if you know what I mean.
She kind of doesn't, but
I guess you could say I'm a bit of a shit stirrer if you didn't know, Edith. And maybe that's what influence looks like. A really good shit stirrer.
Influence has many forms, yeah. And a shit stir, as you so eloquently put it, Miss Dakota Rain, is one of the more powerful forces in a place that strives to maintain order.
Maybe. Do you believe in fate?
I don't think it's so simple as that. I believe in many fates. An opportunity to pick a written path.
I believe that everything has a balance. You do one thing, in return the universe will put out an equal and opposite reaction. Science. We are in the city, so therefore, so are Lupine. So are the SI. Where there is a Camarilla, there will be Anarchs. There will be a Sabbat. It's all like an ecosystem. I am here as the virus to shake up the ecosystem. Not because I want to play one side against another, but because they have built their system on stilts.
There's other gangrel out there I think would agree with you.
The problem is, we've accepted the fate they've given us. We've allowed them to split us up. Send us off.
Do you believe fate is a thing?
I believe in balance.
Balance, yes. But is it fate that guides balance?
Maybe.
So is it fate that you were dumped in this particular city? A particular smelly trash?
I believe.
That caused some of the most substantial shakeups in Chicago the city has seen since the late 1800s.
I believe. I am the balance to something much scarier.
And do you believe that that was fate?
Yes. I believe that an oracle tried to tell her future. And fate didn't let her see that it would be a street gangrel that puts a wrench in her plan.
Which brings another interesting conversation of whether those who see things see what they want to see, or if they're truly being shown the truth. In my experience, the only ones who have ever been able to tell me things that have ended up being true in a twisted way have been the clan of Broken Mirrors. Alcavians.
And what if they told you recently?
I haven't had the pleasure of speaking to one recently.
I can honestly say I have never made a heavy acquaintance with a Malkavian. I appreciate your words and even the personal questions. I'm sorry I couldn't answer them better for you.
You answered them precisely how I wanted you to.
But, I'm glad you're on my side, Edith.
Do you think Rika did this purposefully?
I would say that my siring was a balance. Cause and effect.
I've watched this city for a long time, Dakota. Your arrival shook things up, and I've been trying to understand them better.
I bet your Malkavian would say let into the chaos a little bit, Edith. Not everything has a rhyme or reason.
No, but if you believe in fate. You've given me a lot more to think about. And a name to follow, if you don't mind. You doing so?
If you want to hunt down Rika, go ahead. I imagine she has very little need to, speak to old Dakota Rain.
You don't find it interesting that a gangrel, a clan notoriously removed from the Camarilla, randomly decided to embrace a child and dump them in the only city that has the Camarilla left? Just think. I don't want an answer. Perhaps you were right. It is chaos and random. But something doesn't quite... There's a piece missing.
Maybe. But Rika preyed on a 16-year-old girl who was alone in the desert at a festival.
You were innocent, and it was unfair.
And in the end, I don't know that I care what she was thinking about. The fact of the matter is, fate has brought me here, brought the Loud Ones together. And I stared in the face of a true shadow. And the only thing she fears is me for some reason.
One last question, personal, before I let you go.
Yep.
Do you think you'd be in a better place now if you were still kind?
Probably not. I never had a family till I was a kindred. Never had purpose till I was a kindred. And you and I both know if I had stayed a kind, I was on a fast track to an early death on the streets of some piss-poor city or in the back of a train at the wrong end of a gun.
I always find it fascinating to talk about things like this.
I guess you could say this life gave me a second chance. Not to do better, but be better. I had nothing.
You're a walking reminder that there is no good and evil. Just shades of gray.
Balance.
You're always a pleasure to talk to, Miss Rain.
Oh.
Truly unique individual.
Well, I'm glad I could be good entertainment because I always hate asking for your time, and I know I interrupted your book. I'm going to bring you something a little saucier next time, okay?
She nods and takes another slow drag off of her cigarette. And the conversation kind of peters out right then and there. She stands up and organizes some of her tools and begins to get ready for whatever it is that she's going to be doing that night.
Right before I leave, even with my back still to her and kind of hand on the door, Dakota simply says,
I do mean well with McTavish. You know that, right?
Of course I do. And I think he does as well. But he's been through a lot, Dakota. And he's part of a clan that is disregarded. You're well aware.
My goal is to not make him feel disregarded anymore.
I actually hope you succeed.
Yeah, me too.
McTavish is a valuable asset. But that's all he has been. That's all he thinks of himself as.
That's all everybody's ever treated the gangrel as. Well, Edith, it is Sausage Saturday, and I hear a slapping calling my name.
She doesn't really chuckle, but she does smile, and she waves you like a good night and says, "Go," like kind of just waves you out the room. As you walk out the room, go ahead, please.
If you see her, Rika, tell her she's welcome at the gather.
Shit.
I will.
All gangrel are.
And I want you to know, before you leave, I'm not playing games. I don't know this woman.
Well,
but I have interest in finding her because your story's a fascinating one, Dakota.
Well, she didn't care much then, and maybe she won't care much now, but she is a gangrel, and if it means growing the gangrel cause in Chicago, she is welcome at the gather.
Again, she kind of just accepts that and allows you to leave. As you leave and make your way back out, what scene do we say Ava in as you make your way back into the club?
Ava is still hanging on Brett, actually, at this point.
I would like to spot them. And
no, you do. That's why I'm like, you walk over.
Can I make eyes to Ava? How's Ava feeling? Is he too much? Do I need to save her?
No, actually, Ava had some questions for Brett. She wants to catch up.
Then I'm not there yet. You catch up.
How are things with the roses? How are things with Portia?
Sure. Yeah. But he gives you light conversation. But as always with Brett, especially in this atmosphere, he is being pulled in all different directions, distracted at all times. Though he maintains you as a central focus of attention, he's a man of many talents.
Knows a lot of people. Meets a lot of people. So if I try to broach questions to Brett right now, is he like?
It'd be hard to. You definitely could, but you're gonna have to make some rolls.
Okay. I have just a question for Brett. Brett, I know you are looking to meet a lot of different kindred in Chicago, and you know so many, and your little conquest.
Hey, don't call it a conquest. It's more of a noble endeavor.
Yes, of course. So noble. In your time of meeting all different types of kindred, have you happened to meet anybody from a certain clan, clan Hikata, by chance? I know it's a rare one.
But if any, that was that. Yeah, you guys knew one, didn't you? That old
we
man.
did. Yeah. He's no longer with us. So
yeah. There was a. Oh God, what was her name? Oh God, she had great tits. Fuck. I could find one. Yeah, I know there's one around. Wait, why do you want to talk to one of them? You know what they do, right? The kind of.
Oh
weird.
yeah, I know. Maybe I'm into the weird shit, Brett.
Have you ever had a throuple with a Hikata yourself and a zombie they rose?
No, but that sounds fun.
It's wild.
Okay, I see you've had the experience.
I like to imagine it. I have.
Okay.
But if I get the chance, I'm just saying that's I think that's the road I might go down. I really want it to be, each clan should be very characteristic of who they are. So, as I sleep with a Toreador, it'll be maybe the best sex we ever had. Let's be real. But if I go with a gangrel, I want that feral, primal, dirty. If I go with a Nosferatu, I don't want anyone ever knowing. And if I go with like a Ventru, I want everybody knowing. Each one needs to be, it needs to have its unique flavor, like blood or wine.
Yeah. So Hikata has to be, something weird.
So fucked up.
Right.
I never forget.
Okay. Well, once you run into one, or you rerun into that one, Matt gets scared again.
I got scared. Yeah. I got spooked.
Jump scare.
Cool. I'm seeing myself on a phone now as the stream is being shown to me. Go ahead.
If you happen to run into one, just point him to the pub, maybe. Lights Out Pub.
Can I ask why?
I'd like to have a little meeting.
Can I ask for what?
Oh my gosh, Brett.
I can't help myself. I'm a curious little I'm like a little.
You are. You are, and I boop his little nose. Look, I might need them. It has to do with, people I love. So that's all.
Okay. Well,
you could put the math. You're a smart boy, Brett. I know I'm
a very smart boy. Thank you. He smiles at that, almost like in a prideful way.
Why else would I need one for the weird shit?
Just be careful going around messing around with fucking ghosts and shit. That's dangerous.
Yes. Well, I'm full of danger, Brett. So,
want to show me some of the danger tonight?
I see Dakota making her way out.
Dakota walks in.
I walk in. Sorry about the background noise, everybody. I walk up behind him, hopefully without him noticing. And since ball tapping is clearly now a thing on Sausage Saturday, I would like to hit his just a tad too hard. Just walk up right behind him and just knock him in the nads.
Unfortunately, he has Blush of Life on, so he will feel it.
Oh no!
So you want to walk over and just give him a flick.
Yeah,
is
that how
there's
it's
a
done?
reaction, and then there's a moment before the actual reaction happens.
Oh no, Brett, did I do it too hard? Was that not how it's done? Or was that just a little too rough for your taste?
Go talk.
It would
and he tries to talk, and you feel him struggling to maintain composure, and then he just turns and he's like, "I'm gonna go walk and get a drink," and he leaves and waddles off, kind of.
So sorry to have ruined your romantic moment with metallic balls over there.
I got everything I needed.
Ugh, let's hope not. Not from him.
No. He actually isn't that useful or helpful at times. He knows a lot of people, but he never wants to give any information.
Who would have thought Brett Stryker, the least helpful kindred we know, could possibly be Brett Stryker?
Yeah. The thing is, he's just a lot smarter than he looks, and that's the problem.
Well, I think he thinks he's a lot smarter than he looks. That's the problem.
Did you have a good meeting with Edith?
I had a strangely personal one. What is it with everybody wanting to get in on my level? Nobody ever gave a fuck about Dakota Rain, and now they're all like, I want to know about you. Frank, I want to be your daddy. Edith's like, hey,
I think Edith cared about you before, too. I think in season 2 she was very...
it's more about, like, why now? Why do they want to know my business? Nobody wanted to know my business before.
That's what happens when you start making important moves and meeting important people, Dakota. Everybody wants a piece of you.
Good luck with that.
Where are the two of you heading after this?
Back, I guess, to the bar. We just needed to deliver the message and head back.
Yep.
Ollie begins following the car, and the girls begin making their way back to the bar. And before we go on break, our camera is actually in the bar itself. As you enter the front door, however, you're struck with a strange silence. Yes, certainly most of the crowd in the Lights Out pub has dissipated at this point. It's getting rather late, and things are getting, people are heading home. It's about 1 to 2 in the morning. But the silence is further than that. You can see Grant staring through the window, the little serving window, as well as the few handful of guests, all looking at the TV. As you can see on there, a breaking news segment.
Oh, no.
It looks no fire, no bombing, no typical Chicago bombing. But there does seem like there was a mass shooting on Vanessa's tower. And on that, we'll take a break.
Oh,
we'll be
shit.
back in about 10 to 15 or so minutes.
Okay.
Welcome back, everybody, from your break. I hope everybody had a nice little break. We're just gonna jump back in, but yeah, if you guys are new, jumping in halfway through, welcome. I saw we had a couple new people through the chat. I go through the chat on break, and it looked like we had a couple new people. So if you're new, hey, and you're like, hey, this seems neat. What the hell's going on? We have 2 full seasons you can go watch at youtube.com/roll for it. Plus, like a prelude prequel season of 6 episodes. That's just a Mortals game, but if you want to jump right into Vampire, you don't need to watch that. You can go watch the Vampire stuff. Again, that's at youtube.com/roll for it. And you can check it all out there. We've got all of our stuff there. And if you're a normal viewer and you just missed the first half, hit the subscribe button. The roll for it's a bit behind, so you're not going to see this episode for a little while. So if you want to like catch up on the episode, the best way to do it is subscribe to the channel so you can watch all the VODs instantaneously. It also obviously goes to support this show. Everything that we make in subscriptions and tips and Saito Bar stuff all goes directly to this cast, this show, keeping this one going. So that's about it. How's Saito Bar looking? I haven't checked at all. Is it fine?
We're good for right now. I usually keep a pretty close eye, but there is the link in chat, everybody, to tip.
So yeah, go check it out. Go watch the seasons. They're great. You see where these characters come from and who they once were. They're not the same anymore. It's a hell of a journey. So go check all that stuff out. That's all I'm going to really push here. We're going to jump back in. So let's go ahead and rein things this and set the scene and see what our coterie is up to. And with that, we start with actually Ollie. Ollie, when you realize they're likely heading to the warehouse area, they're likely heading, and the further you follow them, the more and more you're convinced. Do you follow them all the way, or do you just is it just something you wanted to confirm with yourself for the evening?
I want to confirm that they're definitely going there.
Yep.
I also want to see where they're parking.
Sure. So actually what you end up seeing is the car pulls up, and yes, it is at the warehouse. So they don't get dropped off directly in front of the warehouse, much like you. They're dropped off a couple blocks out. The car itself is, you see the 4 people walking toward the warehouse. You can make an assumption. The car actually goes in a different direction, though.
I'll follow that.
Follow the vehicle. And it's a simple hopping from building to building, especially this late in the evening. And eventually you see the car being brought into an independent body shop that is open at the moment. You can see lights on, people are the car pulls in. They have to unlock a chain link fence that they have to drag off to the side so the car can drive in before they slide it shut. And the building itself is a small brick square building with 2 brick attachments to the side for cars. So it can only really fit a couple of cars. In the parking lot itself, you see 4 or 5 cars in various states of repair. And on the actual garages themselves, one spot is open and the other one has another vehicle being worked on. Do you just sit and watch?
No, I want to go in and listen.
Hop down to the ground, hop over the fence and stuff. You're invisible. Are you moving silently as well? Okay, cool. Yeah. As you hop over the fence and just kind of approach, you actually watch as the vehicle drives in, the gate shutting behind it, and immediately drives into the open garage. A driver hops out of it, and it's just this kid, maybe 18, 19 years old. And you watch at this point, you hop the fence yourself and position yourself in an area where you can clearly see what's happening. The important thing to note is there is security here. It's not like the dome cameras. There's like a 1997 CCTV pointed directly at the front door, and that's about it. But that's still something that Ollie would take note of.
Yeah.
The garage itself, you watch as the kid kind of strolls out. And from the front door of this garage, the main office building, an older gentleman walks out with overalls on and a wad of cash in his right hand. He moves over and doesn't actually really say much. He just says to the kid, he's like, "Great job tonight, thanks." And he gives the kid money. And as the kid looks down at the money, it becomes very apparent he was not expecting this amount of cash. He looks down and counts it, looks up. And as he goes to say, are you sure? The guy's already turning around and walking away. And he looks down, looks up, looks down, clearly debates whether he should say something again before he just pockets the cash and scurries out to the front gate and starts leaving.
Okay. What happens to the car?
So if you let the kid leave, you let him go and you wait. You watch the car be stripped. Tires are pulled off and replaced. License plates pulled down. You don't see any replacement license plate right away. The inside is entirely clean. You actually watch the rugs get ripped out, even though there's no blood, at least not that you can tell, or violence. They seem to be redoing as most of what they can quickly. They don't reupholster the seats or anything like that, but the rugs are torn, the tires are replaced, the licenses are replaced, and it becomes the priority of the 2 mechanics that are working there with the one guy overseeing them. If you're listening to see if there's like any talk of like government stuff, what I would say, give me a wits aware. What's better for you, wits awareness or wits investigate?
What's awareness is better for
Do
me.
the awareness then.
2 successes.
2 successes. What you are able to pick up is that their conversation is mostly light. It's talking about music or whatever it is they're playing at home for a video game. When the topic of this car comes up by one of the workers, simply just asking like, are we going to see another car like this or what have you? The overseer simply says, they don't tell me. They bring it, they pay me, we take care of it, we send it out. Don't ask questions, and we all get a nice bonus at the end of the night. The guy younger guy nods and goes back to sliding a tire on and beginning to tighten it, the bolts in a star pattern. And they go back to talking about the Cubs game from earlier that night.
What do they do with the? What does it look like they're doing with the tires and the carpets?
The tires get rolled off to the corner and leaned up against each other for now, as the carpet also gets rolled up and leaned up against the tires. Clearly, to do something with them later, dispose of them, or put them on another car, you don't know. But for the night, it looks like they just kind of push them into the corner and leave them there.
Interesting.
The license plate gets the license plates that are removed also get placed on top of them. Like they all just kind of get put into a corner for now.
They put a new plate on it?
Not yet. Nope, not for this night.
Not yet. Okay.
Right now, it just looks like it's being stripped and replaced with no identifying features beyond just the tires and shit that are on it now.
And you said this is a mechanic shop.
Like an independent mechanic shop. Yeah, if you were to, just with your wits awareness, it looks like maybe the older gentleman, the kid who was talking, might be related. They have a very similar nose.
Yeah. Does it look like they have cars for sale out front?
No.
Okay.
Just cars that need repairs.
Sure. Then I'll file that away for later.
Sure.
And note this. What is this place called?
Eddie's Engines.
Eddie's Engines. Got it. Sounds good. Then, yeah, I'll go back to the Lights Out pub.
And we'll say this is probably the time all of you straggle in together. First, Ava and Dakota, having noticed the silence. And as you look up to it, and maybe before you're just about to say something, that's when Ollie also enters the restaurant. And Ollie, you're greeted with that same confusing silence. Yeah, it's 2, almost 3 in the morning. And yeah, the crowd is thinning out. But usually there's some leftover chatter, friendly banter with the regulars. When you enter, all you hear is the TV and nothing more. And when you see the regulars watching about this shooting that took place at Vanessa's tower, obviously it's not Vanessa's tower. It's like a business building, according to the news, but you recognize it as Vanessa's tower. The silence starts to make a little bit more sense. And Dakota and Ava look like they just walked in the front door themselves as you came in through the back door.
Then I listen. I wait for more details on this.
Yeah, and right now, it's your typical breaking news of like number of shooters unknown, casualties, at least 3 confirmed. And it's just like, we'll get more as we learn more. It's somebody standing out in the middle of the night in front of the building with police tape and tons of police cars with lights all outside of it. Grant looks over to you, looks back. That place looks familiar.
Yeah, we've been there a couple of times.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
Been a while.
Not a great place.
Should I hang on? And he actually like reaches over and grabs the remote and hits the TV and turns it off. All right, we're closing up. Sorry, guys. You got to watch the news at home. Yeah, some people have dead. Welcome to Chicago. Get your beers. Come on, let's go. And he starts ushering out basically the last bit of the people looking to close early by like 10 minutes or so. If you don't stop him, he ushers them all out. He closes the door, locks it, and flips the sign from open to closed. And takes a heavy breath as he unties his apron. Should I get my shotgun?
Man, no, the building's not going to fall into this place.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, whoever did that to them, are they going to come here?
No.
Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
Ollie, who else was on that list?
Genghis, Vanessa, and Vitel.
Well, 2 of 3 down, 1 to go.
Which one was that? And he looks over to you like confused.
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
That name rings a bell. That was when your brother was around, right? And he's
Yeah, he got involved with her, pissed her off, got himself killed, the usual.
man, you really make it just so romantic.
What happens?
I don't know if I should be worried or not, so I'm gonna go to clean in the kitchen unless you need me for anything. I'll be back there.
Keep your shotgun away.
He walks by it. You can see him slow down near the shotgun, but he doesn't grab it and he pushes forward.
What happens when she runs out of names on the list?
Then she comes back to us.
Probably come back. I've been meaning to talk to her anyway.
Oh, do we really want to talk with Layla? I don't think she's ready to talk.
I don't know if you're noticing what's going on, but she's wiping out our problems.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to say we're best buds. We're hanging out on the weekend, but
didn't she say something to you the last time, the two of you, when she dropped you off back here after kidnapping you, that when next time she saw you, it wasn't going to be friendly?
Yeah, it may not. May not be friendly. Maybe real violent.
Yeah.
What happens when she finishes cleaning up our problems?
She's probably going to look for more.
Yeah.
She's probably going to come to me asking about more about what I know, because I didn't just roll on small names.
You know, if the cam finds out we're informants for the SI, we're in deep shit.
You know we're not the only ones.
I know, but it's easy to pin it on the loud ones.
And they did just take out 2
But
targets.
we're about to look a lot cleaner when we wipe out an entire SI cell.
All right. So, what is the plan here? Talk to me about this building.
Well, I followed him. I tried to follow. It started with me kind of scoping roses, and I was there for about 4 or 5 hours. I think, just sitting outside before. Yeah, I didn't pick up on much, but I saw there's a little pattern. There's a car. There's a little gray car. It come up to the club a couple of different times. Dropped off some young people, some kids, probably early 20s or something. And I thought it was funny that the same car was coming. It wasn't picking anybody up, but it was dropping new people off every time. First it was a guy, didn't think anything of it. Then it was 2 girls. It was a little weird. But then it showed up like an hour later and it dropped off another guy.
So they're infiltrating the club.
Maybe. See, I thought, odd. Could be like one of them lubers or gifts, So I followed them back. I followed the car because they all got in at the same time. They left the club the same time. It was weird, right? Kids going to a club late night. Not one of them was drunk. So followed them back. They got dropped off, just as I suspected, about a block or so away. And then I followed the car over to a mechanic, Eddie's Engines. Place, well, it's been around a while. Not really a lot going on down there. It used to be hip because it was an old chop shop. Maybe Eddie cleaned himself up, or maybe he rolled on someone, who knows. But when the car came in, I walked in right behind it. They rolled it into the first bay. They stripped the tires, the plate, and the carpets. Started replacing everything. The kid got paid real well, and he bounced.
All right, so they're cleaning up their tracks. They don't want us to trace them in the same car twice.
Yeah, they're smart.
Yeah.
All right, well, we know they're using a chop shop, but that's not really their home base.
No, I think that's just how they're cleaning up their vehicular movement. I still think they're operating out of the warehouse, that little group of buildings.
Did you get both license plates?
I got it, but it didn't matter. Basically got tossed. I think they're moving different vehicles every time. I don't know why they're pulling carpets. My guess is because they've got some intel on maybe some of the disciplines that we have.
All right.
Okay, so
what about the strike? It's gonna
Who knows?
happen.
It's gonna happen soon.
All right, how many are we talking?
On how many did I see have been at Rose's, or how many at the warehouse?
How many do you think are at the warehouse?
12.
All right.
12.
12 of them. Across how many floors?
3 buildings.
We're gonna need to draw them into a centralized location.
Or we pick them apart separate.
It makes us weaker.
Yeah.
It also makes us stronger in a lot of ways. I don't have to watch your ass and put myself in the line of fire. You don't have to watch my ass and put yourself in the line of fire. If we're in separate buildings, we can go all out.
How big are these buildings?
It's a warehouse district, so it's sizable. It's butted up right against Berwyn, and on the other side is it's like a tenement house.
So 3 buildings, you 2 and 2 of them in McTavish.
I still got to see the Emmys, see if I'm going to get anybody. I'm hoping that they come through and at least give me 2. Some guns would be nice.
Well,
Yeah.
we spoke to McTavish's goon, delivered a message, told him we needed some extra time, wanted to wait for this attack on Rose's club. We needed a fall guy. So we put the message in, and we can only hope it reaches McTavish, I guess, if he doesn't come knocking at your door.
I'm sure that message will be relayed.
Well, can't imagine we're going to have a lot more time. But if they are actively scoping the situation at Rose's, there's a good chance that as long as someone here is a bit more aware of how to use phones, you can probably put it in that they've been watching Rose's spot. If anyone comes through, they find their phones and shit like that. They snapped a couple of pictures at the club. Maybe they sent out a couple of text messages, something that might be encrypted. I mean, they're still kids. I don't care how smart they are. They're still kids. They're going to do something stupid. They're going to slip up somewhere.
So essentially the gears are already in motion for it to be pinned on the club.
Yeah.
As long as we wait for their attack.
So we're going to keep staking out every night, wait for them to attack, and then we do our thing, or should we just do this?
Well,
I still think we do it. We have motive, right? They've been watching Rose's. We have your fall guy. Rose acted.
in 2 nights' time, I'll be tip-top shape.
All right.
Let's give it 2 nights then.
I got to feed anyway.
You need to feed.
Yes.
You're a bit grumpy, I can tell.
Things that under a lot of duress. Yeah.
I mean, maybe we go kill some SI and have some fun.
Yeah, let's just give it a few nights. I mean, we have all the nights in the world. So why don't we just wait a couple of nights? You guys feed and rest up, get yourselves nice and ready, and then we'll do this thing.
You got a name in that chop shop?
Eddie's Engines.
Dakota will actually pick up a phone, which doesn't happen very often. There's got to be, I guess it's not a rotary, but there's still like an electric
like a
phone
landline
here,
somewhere
a
in the
landline
club?
or something.
Yeah,
That's
buttons
fine.
on the
Yeah.
phone.
Dakota dials up Frank's place. It might be early, but she dials it.
Oh gosh, Frank.
It rings and it rings and it rings until eventually you just hear, "Oh, alone.
Hey, wake the fuck up. I got something to tell you.
Oh, what the fuck?
I gotta leave.
It's 3 fucking in the morning, Dakota.
Time is technically irrelevant. Listen.
What?
Listen. There's a chop shop called Eddie's Engines. It's
All right.
flipping cars for this SI unit I believe might be connected to the police department.
You hear some motion in the background, just like,
Write it down. Don't forget
that's
it.
what I'm doing. I'm doing it.
Okay,
All right,
go back
Eddie's.
to bed. Shh, sleep now.
Eddie's
Shh, go to
Engines.
sleep. Bye.
Is that it? That's it. And you just
That's
hang
it.
up on
Yep.
him. It's like mid yawn. And you're like, and you hang up. Dakota just turns around, looks at the 2 of you.
What? It seemed
So-
like relevant information, and he's dead sure that there are some SI plants inside the police department. So, we cut off their ability to flip cars, and we might be able to track them easier.
Oh, if you're gonna have to talk to him. If he tips it off early, then they're gonna know.
He won't. He's definitely drunk. Probably not even until tomorrow night. We'll be fine. He doesn't move that fast. And trust me, he's not going to tip anybody off. He's not going to bust the place. He's going to watch it.
All right. Well,
Please.
like I said, I still gotta find a place to feed. This place
So
has been
let's
hit a
go.
few
Yeah. Who needs to
times.
feed before we end the night?
I, for once, am feeling really fucking good.
Okay.
Good.
But I hate to break
That's
it to you, Ollie. I ate all the pigs.
Good.
But I didn't
Yeah.
kill a man tonight.
That's fine. I'm I'm probably going to hit up some homeless friends.
You're good?
I don't really have a choice, do I? Gotta be good. And by my count, I'm in deep shit with some people that I was already supposed to meet.
Who?
Well, about 2 nights ago, I was supposed to meet with Jules.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you should follow up on that. I guess Ava and I will watch the bar, won't we, Ava?
Yes.
Mathis, would I have enough time to feed and see to Jules?
Yeah, I'd say you have enough time.
Okay.
How you just kind of brute force feeding like your typical?
I'm going to see if I can hit any of my homeless network.
Okay, yeah, if you want to hit your homeless network, you'll find somebody who's willing to give. I won't make make any rolls for that. But you'll be able to get 2 dots of hunger off of them. You don't want to put them into 3.
No, I won't.
So you're down to 2. And Ollie makes his way out. A long walk. Eventually makes his way north to the similar looking places where those rows of brick buildings lay. The barber shop, the comic shop, and that small 2-story building where on the 2nd floor Jules lives. Lights are all off, of course. It's 3 a.m.
I'll ring the bell.
There is a few moments that pass before a light flicks on, and there is a few brief, tense moments, perhaps, before you hear the front door unlock. The door creaks open, and you see Jules' eyes.
Hey.
Give me a reason not to shut the door on you right now.
You told me to come back.
2 nights ago.
It's the best I can do.
You hear her, she closes the door, and you hear the chain lock unlock as she pulls it, then swings open, and quickly invites you in. As you swing in, she shuts the door behind you, looks to make sure on the street you're not being followed by anybody, and then as the door shuts, she turns to you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm getting by. Cold nights in Chicago, but you know how it is.
Yeah, I thought I was hallucinating again when you show up the other night.
You said to come back. I did my best to get here when I said I would, and I dropped the ball.
No. That's the Oliver Hopkins special, isn't it?
Nothing you're not used to. I'm still sorry about that.
Yeah, well, scars form. I don't feel it anymore.
I can leave.
I'm still thinking about telling you to. But right now, you can stay. I just want to hear you out.
Then talk. Ask me.
Why? Let's just start with why.
Which part?
Exactly. Why disappear? Why disappear and then reappear? Why not just stay silent and take out my dad's trash?
That was the plan. And then you called my bar.
Yeah, because I started remembering something.
Yeah.
I thought it was a dream and it was made up.
I still don't know how you got the number of the bar. It's not listed.
Oliver Hopkins, you don't think I picked something up from you over our years together? Mr. Street Rat?
Look, I've come a long way from lifting radios from cars, Jules.
There's one thing that stayed the same about you is your goddamn stupid golden heart. Doesn't take long to find the good you've done somewhere. And with a little bit of money and a little bit of flirting, you can get some names to leak. It's not hard.
You should meet my friend Ava.
Should I be jealous?
Nah. Couldn't hold a candle to you, Jules.
Clearly more of a candle since you talked to her, not me. So tell me why? Why hide? What happened that night that made you come back? You were drunk, you said.
I was very, very drunk.
So instead of being honest with me, you did some fucking hoodoo voodoo bullshit and made me forget?
No, I didn't. Had a hypnotist. Really bad one, apparently.
Yeah, you're an asshole, Ollie.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah, you still run from things.
I have to hide. I have to.
So then why are you coming back to me now? If you have to hide, why are you at my door tonight?
Because I'm a man of my word, and you asked me to come back. You wanted to talk. I'm not going to leave you hanging.
So what? Your answer is because you wanted to protect me?
You and Pops, yeah.
I don't think you understand. Protecting Pops would have been letting him know you were still around. Instead of him thinking you're dead. You're going to have to pick up those pieces.
I don't know what you want me to say here, Jules.
I don't know what I want you to say either.
If I was here, if I was regular, if I was walking through that door every day and seeing Pops, he wouldn't have the caretaker that he has. I would have fired her ass years ago. I know we talked about it last time. She's been lifting his pills.
I know.
She doesn't take care of any of his chores. I know that you do that. And I know that I do it. And you probably think that she's been the one that's been running out the trash. And that's fine. It's all right. Pops is old, though, now. You know that. You see it.
Ollie, I'm sick of you asking what I need, what I want. What the fuck are you doing? What do you want? Why are you here? And if you tell me to make sure I'm okay, you can fucking take that ass and shove it up your fucking ass. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear your strong man answers to why you're here. I want to hear not why. Why are you here? What do you want, Hopkins?
I'd like to lay down without the fear of knowing that someone's coming for my head. I'd like to know that I can rest at day or at night or whenever I can finally put my head down. And I can see that all the people I care about are safe. That list is few and far between. And you don't know it. And if you do know it, you probably don't think it's true, but you're on that list. And me staying away, as ugly and as stupid as it sounds, meant that you're safe. Or
That
safer.
is not what I meant, Ollie. What is the selfish thing you want? If you could have whatever it is you wanted, the whole spark for the whole reason you walk through that fucking door, what is it? And stop telling me it's for my own damn good. I want to hear you for once.
I want peace of mind. I want to be able to take this mask off of my face and not be an appalling threat in the room.
So what's stopping you from walking away from it all?
I'm entrenched. I've been buried here.
Leave the city, Ollie. Leave. I'll leave with you. I'll take Pops with us. If I'm in trouble and you're worried about me, then let's go somewhere. In Montana, in a small town where nobody fucking knows, and you can tell Pops everything before he passes on. If you're in trouble in Chicago, then let's go somewhere else.
Jules, I'm terminal. I'm terminally ill.
No, you're not.
I am. I've developed an acute allergy to sunlight.
We move at night, Hopkins.
And what? We write out our days?
Yeah.
Pop stuck in a bed?
Where else is he going to go? That's what he's doing now.
He doesn't want to leave this place. He wants to die here. Pops was born here. He's going to die here. Where do you think I get this shit from that I say? I was born here. I'm going to die here.
I think he might be okay with it if he saw you walk into the room and tell him.
He can't. Jules, he can't. He's going to remember my size. He'll remember my silhouette. He'll remember my touch. But when I touch his arm, and it's cold, and then he sees my face, He's just going to see a monster. You can tell it's not real. Words are coming out of my mouth and the lips don't move, Jules.
Yeah. I remember your boxing days.
Yeah. But you haven't seen my face. And no normal man looks like how I look.
I believe you. I do.
Then how do you explain the cold touch?
Bad circulation.
Bad circulation everywhere?
What do you think he's going to do? You think he's just going to run out and tell people?
No, I think he'll die. I think he'll die.
Maybe. But maybe that's why he's still alive. Maybe he knows you're out there still. Maybe he wants to know you're still there before he lets go. I just want you to stop trying to be my goddamn hero and just be Ollie, the boy, the man that I loved, not the guy who tried to protect me from every goddamn thing that walked by.
Jules is all I ever was.
No. We grew up together, kid. Come on.
Yeah, and I was an idiot kid who got in a lot of trouble.
Welcome to being a kid. But you did right by yourself. You got your shit put together. Every person you were running around on the street with didn't end up where you did. With someone who loved and cared about him, with a path he could follow, and you found success. Yeah, you had anger problems, but you found an outlet. You turned it into a career. You were what those boys weren't. Successful. You worked on yourself. And all I see before me now is the same kid who's trying to slip back to those bad habits. I know I don't know everything. I know I can't even pretend to know everything. But I know who you are.
All right, then Jules, in a perfect world, what's next? What do I do?
I already
Want me to go wake up Pops right now?
In a perfect world, you and I figure out how to get out of here. And when we decide, you tell Pops when we're leaving. Let's move somewhere. A small house. We'll live a nightlife. I'll get a day job. I'll be around in the nights. Again, somewhere in the middle of fucking Montana or Minnesota in the mountains somewhere where nobody's coming to get you. Nobody wants to come find you. And we can just be happy. And I know I'm going to die before you. But we can worry about that when the time comes.
How do you know that?
I remember the things you did.
What do you think you know then?
What you told me the first time you came, when you tried to have those memories wiped from my mind, when you lifted yourself up with a single hand and showed me your fang. Funny enough, you start questioning things and thinking about them hard enough, you start remembering things. I know you're not human, and I'm not going to put a word on what you are. For all I know, it's a disease that maybe we can cure. But for the time being, your allergy to the sun can be worked around. And Pops can die happy with his family around him, his whole family.
If you know that that's all to be true, then you know that I can't.
No, I don't know you can't.
I can't. I can't. Because I'm watching a lot of people right now. And there are a lot of other people that are being hurt. And if I leave, if I bounce, a lot more people are going to keep getting hurt.
Ollie, you can't save Chicago.
No, but I can save people.
There's always going to be somebody to need saving, Ollie.
And
wherever we go, there's going to be somebody that needs your help.
And you know who impressed it upon me? The old man himself. What do you think Pops would say if he found out that I abandoned everyone that's depending on me?
He needs you.
Then I can come visit him. Jules, I can't leave.
Maybe I thought you were someone else. Maybe I thought behind that desperate need to be somebody's fucking hero, the kid I grew up with was there. But maybe I was wrong. People change. You've changed.
We all have to. We have to adapt, Jules. You had to.
Yeah, but you can't put a price on your own life if it means other people. And all I see is you throwing yourself in front of a hail of bullets every time to save other people. Who's going to save you, huh? The only way you can save you is to get away from this shit. That's what Pops knew. That's why I took you off the streets.
Yeah, well, I've still got unfinished business. I have a few bones to pick with people. They may have personally made my life a living hell, but some of those people directly contributed to Rowan's death. And I can't abandon that notion.
What happened to Rowan? How did he die?
By my hand.
Wait, what?
Rowan.
What?
Rowan was. You remember the old adoption agency, the orphanage off of 39th Meridian?
Yeah, the Catholic one.
Yeah. Rowan ended up there. And I was sneaking by. I was telling him that I was one of his dad's friends. He kept calling me Mr. Dante. And I would bring him some of my old things, my gloves, pictures. And people like me were watching the place, and they intended on using Rowan against me. So I tried to move him out. And I thought I did. I thought it was going smoothly. I had to hurt people to get him moved out. And then where I left him, which seemed like the safest place, hindsight's 2020, it went tits up. Rowan,
that's not something you can.
Rowan got picked up by murderers, by hunters. And they trained him. They twisted his mind. They made him to be a monster. And he came through looking to bury the hatchet, settle a score. He thought that I was a monster, and in a lot of ways, he was right. I am. I've done a lot of fucked up things, but I digress. It's not going to change. He was hurting people. He hurt my friend Ava's dad, nearly killed him. Cut off his body parts, turned him into what would look like a TV mobster, except way more efficient, way more lethal. He looked spot on like me, young me, big, girthy, thick-headed. Covered in tattoos, though. Not like me. But we got into a tussle out by the old hospital off 11th. You know, the woods out back there before they done all that construction. And it was an accident. I carried him back and I buried him. He was trying to kill me. And I just wanted him to see the truth. It was an accident, Jules. But because someone twisted his mind, push come to shove, he died. That's what I mean by I have unfinished business.
You can't bring him back, though, Molly.
No, but I can stop him from hurting other kids.
I get it. I get that at least. Molly, I don't even know what you've gotten yourself into.
Best I can say is it's a gang. It's like the mob. It's the easiest sell. It's just like the mob. The only difference is we come out at night. We stay out a lot longer than everyone else. And we're really fucking strong.
So what now then?
That's what I was hoping to discover here. Not gonna leave you hanging, you're still important to me. If you told me tonight that you wanted to get out and be okay with it, I'd help you move. I'd set you up with whatever you needed, find you a realtor, you and Pops, find you a new caretaker, one that doesn't suck ass and
Look,
steal from you.
Pops ain't gonna move. It ain't gonna happen. You're the only thing I think that could convince him, but we can figure that out another time, huh?
Yeah.
Getting late. I don't want the sun to burn you.
I got quick ways to move.
Oh, Pop's gonna be waking up in a couple hours. I want to make sure I get a little bit of rest beforehand. Let's do this again. Yeah.
Couple of weeks.
I won't lock you down to a day this time, okay?
Yeah, if someone comes up and you need me, just come out to the pub.
Yeah.
It's nice. If you see him there's a guy named Grant. He's a good dude. He's a little skeezy, but he's a good dude.
Yeah.
See two girls working behind the bar. Redhead. Excuse me. It changes. I think she wears wigs, dark hair, really dark eye makeup. Her name's Ava. She's sweet. And Dakota. She's a pistol.
And they're important to you, these people?
They're my second family. They kept me alive when I shouldn't be alive.
I'd really love to meet the people who are so important to you then, huh?
You know, all things considered, I think that they would enjoy your company a lot.
Well, that's for another night.
Come on down to the bar.
It's always good to see you, even if I hate you.
Hey, it's all right. I hate myself.
Go. He's gonna wake up soon, and the caretaker's gonna be here soon.
All he does, he leaves. Not even a goodbye. Just gone.
And he leaves. And as you leave and make your way out, striding down the walk before you probably soaring leap on a nearby building, another figure on the street is walking toward you. It's a familiar looking silhouette. One of a girl in her 20s with her buzzed shaved head. Layla is striding to meet you on the sidewalk.
Holly's got his hands in his pockets.
She's not carrying any weaponry, and she's, or at least not openly. And as she walks to you, there's that confident, calm stride. Hey, mind if I join you?
Yeah, I don't really want to be alone.
Well, you choose some weird company then.
Weird times.
She spins on the ball of her foot and meets your pace. I'm impressed. 2 for 2 so far. Not lies.
I got no reason to lie, Layla.
Not asking for reasons you might lie. Your kind has reasons, or your kind lies without reason sometimes.
Yeah, so
I'm
is your
impressed.
kind, right? At the end of the day, we're all people. Some of us just eat different shit.
Agree to disagree on that first point. But I'm appreciative. I hope you're appreciative of my return gift.
And which is that?
Oh, I might just being too subtle. I helped poke the bear. Huh? Helped her remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that. I kind of figured that was you.
Whoever did it, sloppy job.
You could say that again.
Not the first time I've come across stuff like that.
Look, you know, in our world, we try with everything that we can to abandon what we had before, because it just means that our kind use that as ammunition against us.
Yeah. You're not the first one that's told me that, yeah? Except every single one of you has something you won't let go of, so it's only a matter of time.
So it keeps us trying, keeps us trying to see. It helps us remember the light. You know what it's like? You know when you got something to wake up for? That's kind of like what it is. Keeps us tethered. It's the ones that you find that don't have anything. Those are the ones you got to worry about. And you hit them. I saw you work.
Oh, I We had a deal. You gave me names. I gave you the man you wanted, and that's that. I just expected not all of the names to be truthful.
Well, I have a feeling that third one's going to be a lot harder to find.
We'll see. I'm not worried about that right now. Vanessa was enough of a difficult task.
Yeah, she was old. Old blood. Probably pretty difficult to move through. Sorry, my condolences if you lost any.
She doesn't actually indicate one way or another. The thing about your kind is it's funny how powerful a lot of you are, but a 50 cal still cleanly takes off your head.
I don't know how you managed to do that without getting in there. She doesn't have windows on her floor.
Who said I didn't get in there? Or at least my people. I wasn't there to see the whole thing through ahead of the work. So, 2 for 2. One more.
What more can I help you with, Layla?
I'm curious, Mr. Hopkins. If and when this third is taken care of, you have more on that list, or should I just start knocking doors on my own? Where do you see
there's more
partnership going?
We've escalated it that far. Partners now.
Hey, I want to use kind terms with your people, huh? There's
Sure.
a symbiotic relationship. Is that better?
Of course. Yeah, there's a lot of problems in Chicago. And it doesn't matter if I give you 3, 6, there's going to be more. They move in. That's the problem is when a person harms another person, it just seems like it's a Tuesday. But when my kind hurts a person, it's suddenly an atrocity. I guess it goes to say that we do things bigger. It takes us a lot longer, right? After all, without the impact of people like yourself, we can effectively live forever.
Crime against God, I'm aware.
I don't know. I don't know where this is going, and I don't really know what you want out of it, additionally. I don't know what you get out of it. Does it give you some satisfaction?
You know how difficult it is to get names that belong to influential creatures like you? So much torture, so much time, so much killing. But I gave you a worthless worm and you gave me 3 of seemingly powerful people in the city. So what I see you helping me take down the powerful people in the city, or I take you down. One or the other.
That was a mistake.
What?
Needles isn't worthless. Needles is controlled. He doesn't rampantly feed in this place. He doesn't walk around and drain every person that comes across him. He sticks to himself. He tries to feed on animals, particularly raccoons, because he realizes the impact that we have on people, on the population. I try to do much of the same myself. Try is the ample word. And when I lose myself, I make up for it. My goal is to not become just another stereotype or a statistic of which you are hoping to cleave the head off the shoulders of. My goal is to fix some of the broken people and maybe cleave some of those heads off myself.
Ollie, do you believe in God?
I have to.
So then, do you believe that you are a curse from him?
Are we moving to a philosophical point?
I believe that. You know why I believe that? Because I've prayed at your kind and watched you run in fear. Because I've spoken the words of our Lord and watched you burn in place. If you believe in God, like I do, then there's no question that you're a curse from him, a parasite on this earth, and I am doing his work by removing your kind. And with you helping, perhaps he'll look kindly on you.
Sure. My question to you is, what do you do after you wipe out all the kindred? If you murder every vampire that walks the earth, You retire, you go down to the Keys, lay out in the sun, you bake a little.
You know, I watched The Avengers not too long ago.
All right.
Except Thanos, his whole thing was like living people. I'm like him, except for your fucking kind.
Sure, but what do you do about all the other soups?
Oh, they're problems in their own. But only one of you leeches off the life force of our kind in such a direct manner. Only one of you has your fingers in the government across every country.
Oh, you mean the
like
lupine?
Lupine are a fascinating problem. They think they fight for a greater good, but they can barely contain themselves, as I'm sure we all are aware of recently.
Yeah, I've seen some of the mistakes of the lupine.
And they're a different issue. And there are those of us who worry more about them. But me, my personal desire is to remove your tainted ass off the streets. And if that ever happened, if I was able to miraculously remove all of you before my own death, I'd maybe be able to rest for the first time. But I'm not stupid. I won't. I will barely make a dent. But if I can put fear into one of you, then I've succeeded. And your son, my boy, was to take it from me when I passed. And that's how I ended up here.
The last time we met, you were what feels a little more lucid and not so fanatical. I'm guessing you've spent a long time stroking your ego tonight.
No, Ollie. Last time we had business. This time it's just a check-in and an appreciation. A thank you. I really genuinely mean it too, and I know that's probably sounding rather sarcastic.
It does. It feels it too.
Most of your kind that I've worked with have fed me half-truths and lies. You are the only one I've ever talked to who truly, up to this point, has lived up to his end of the bargain. So part of this little visit is a thank you, an appreciation. I'm glad you and Jules are talking again. And to know that when this is done, if I'm able to get my hands on Vitel, we should talk about who we need to hit next to destabilize the problems in the city. You say you care about the people in the city, right?
And I do.
More of the human part.
I think I care more about the people of the city than you do.
You might.
Well, last I checked, I wasn't rigging their mouths with bombs.
Some people just have a fanaticism.
Yeah, it helps when you got someone whispering in your ear.
God is a powerful figure.
Sure, but you shouldn't speak for God. You should let God do the talking.
God works through me. I would love to continue working with you, Hopkins. I do. And I hope that you feel the same. I've come to a decision. The next time I see you, after tonight, I'm gunning for names. If names are not provided, you will be the next on the list. And I want to give you warning because you're the only honorable one of your kind I've ever talked to. And I feel it's only fair.
Feels weird that you want to paint me with a compliment and then paint me with a target at the same time.
It's called respect.
That's not respect.
That's enough respect for me. Names. Can you
Yeah, I'll think about it.
If not, I'm eager to find out who God favors more. And maybe if I do perish, then you take my head. At least I'll see my boy in heaven again.
You want to know something a little wild? I don't actually want to see you die, Layla.
That is a funny thought. You know what? I can't. Why?
Because you're doing some good. You're just doing it in a real bad way. And that makes us similar. You and I may walk at different times of the day, but we're the same creature. You just eat cheeseburgers.
What have you done? You think you and I are similar?
Oh, I could write you a fucking book.
You
But something
really
tells me
do.
that I'd bore you.
If you believe you and I are the same or similar, why not join me?
You want to join me? Here,
No.
let me paint you as something then. Since you've left me with an ultimatum, let me do the same for you. You want more names? Then you leave Thin Bloods alone. Thin Bloods are the world of walkers that are between you and between me. And they are the least liked in this city by all of Kindred. They can't be liked by people because, well, they're still abominations according in the eyes of God. And they are not liked by Kindred because they have the least amount of tainted blood in their body. They can walk in the day. They can eat food. The only difference is occasionally they have a craving like a meth head. They just got to hit it once in a while.
So I leave these half creatures alone. And what? You provide me names?
They're trying to leave. Layla, you help them leave.
You want me to help them leave?
I think that you might be able to educate them.
Give me a name. Give me a name of one. I will reach out. I'll follow up.
It's funny that you say that because I actually have a name. Layla, what does the half moon mean to you? The quarter moon?
If you're asking about particular lupine habits, it could mean a few things. Why?
Well, there's some Thin Bloods that are marked with this. And they need particular movement out of this city right now. You want a name? I'll drop a name for you, but you're not going to get it so freely from anybody else because everyone else is fucking shaking in their boots for it. The name's Sybil. I don't know what that means to you, but she's the biggest threat that the city has seen in ever. And you might think that you're an impact, but you are a fucking minute, grayscale, nondescript individual that will never register on her plate. And that's who I'm trying to take out in this city right now. And Vital, directly linked. She's old blood. You thought Vanessa up in the tower was old? She makes Vanessa look like a fucking toddler. And the worst part about it, Layla, is she's trying to bring about the end of days, starting right here in Chicago. Ultimate darkness.
What a hell of a story.
Yeah. Thing is, it's buried in truths. So while I'm trying to make amends to my past life because you wanted to poke the bear, I'm actually trying to do something to guide it into your favor.
The name's familiar. I think Needles whimpered it at some point.
Oh, yeah. Everyone whimpers it. Everyone's afraid, and they're trying to hide because they don't want to be under that field of vision.
I'll follow up on it.
She's your real Thanos in this story right now.
And I'm not stupid, Hopkins. I know you're trying to get something out of this too. So whatever it is you fed me, I approach with caution. But I'll look into it.
I'll give you that name, though, that you wanted. A Thin Blood.
Yes.
Is directly trying to vacate the city. They need help. Your people almost killed her. Her name's Saoirse. Got her stored up. She's afraid for her life. It's when you took out Genghis. Your people were sloppy. They couldn't finish the deal. I don't mind helping align the situation, but, and I do mean but, I'll be following her every move, and if she dies, you will never know when your head was removed from your shoulders. You will simply blink and see your body on the other side of the room. Because these are people that actually need help. They're running from you. They're running from me. They're running from everyone because everyone's a fucking boogeyman.
I appreciate the threat. It's not the most original I've heard, but I appreciate it.
Well,
I take these people, these half walkers out of here for you. And
Watch them.
My reward is what?
You figure them out. You can watch them. Hell, you might even be able to leverage them at some point. Don't hit them with the drivel of God. Let them find God if that's what they need, if that's what they believe, and you get to watch them. The kicker is between your world and my world is they're stuck in between, and if they're leaning more on my world, they become more like me. But if they lean on your world, then they're just as useful to you. You know, as well as anybody else here, there's more value in those alive than those dead. Leverage it. Don't use them as a tool. Put value in them and allow them to be useful to you.
You still remain extremely interesting, Hopkins.
Just tired of seeing people getting used. Everybody needs a chance, Layla.
All right, well, looks like I'm walking away with a bit of a pleasant outcome. We'll keep working together for now. But Hopkins, before I go, this really can only end one way. You know that, right? You took my boy from me. And I'm not willing to have that argument right now. But when our business partnership finds its logical conclusion, just you and me. Got it?
I fear for the both of us.
That'll make it more fun. If I meet my death from you, and I die from the only kindred I've actually had give me their word and mean it, that's unique.
Fine. I'll set a secondary goal myself. I want to know that you can tolerate me and like me and think of me as just a regular dude. And if you can drop the charade for long enough, come by the club. I'll make you a burger that'll blow your socks off. Already been there twice. Third time's a charm, right? Least you can do is sample my cooking.
And the words of pleasantries kind of roll off of her face like water on a duck's back. She gives a half-hearted smirk and with a bit of pep in her step as they reach the end of this other block you've been walking. Just, yeah, you'll see me around. But don't go dying on me before I get a chance, Hopkins. You're mine.
Yeah, don't get sweet on me. Get the fuck out of here.
She just turns and leaves. The night comes to a close. The following night, I need Dakota to make me some rolls.
Okay, here we go. Gonna fucking just whoop-a-doop arouse. Okay, 1 for the night. Great, fail. We're on to a great start.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Oh, so fucking hungry again.
You're at 4 hungry.
4 hungry. But I did it and I got rid. Now I'm down to 1.
So, where do you? Both your pigs are gone. So, what are you feeding on?
I think tonight Dakota's gonna take a very angry, frustrated skateboard ride south side of Chicago and go feed in our theater territory. Cause
right, go ahead and give me a roll.
Yeah, I gotta.
It hasn't been fed in a little while.
Yeah, I gotta put some space between places. Uh, 3.
All right, so yeah, you easily get somebody to feed on. You know what you have to make me now?
Yeah.
Hunger frenzy check.
Hey!
I think that's enough. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that's good. I can actually just check in the index here. Let's do that. Hunger frenzy.
I think we said it had to be.
I think it has to be 2 or more.
2,
Hunger
yeah.
4. Let's see. Terror frenzy, hunger frenzy. There it is. Sight of it, hunger or
Damn it! Didn't make it,
no.
did I?
The smelling and seeing is 2. Tasting is 3.
At a 4?
Out of 4. It's 4 or higher according to the rules. Yes. I don't think you can re-roll frenzy checks, can you?
I cannot. Oops.
Okay. Well, You hunger frenzy, aka you drain him. Take a stain.
Did I roll for the last stain?
I think we had you roll for the last stain.
I think didn't I?
Yeah, and I don't think you gained anything, so you're fine.
Oh shit!
Should I? Okay.
You roll that humanity roll.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember how they. Oh, I remember how I did this. Yeah. Okay, I have one. Okay, I figured.
Yeah, just like mark a little slashing. You have to roll in a little bit.
Yeah, there's actually a spot for it. Okay, 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
But hey, you did what you could. You tried your best. You fed. You're at what was your hunger? You're at 4. You're at 0. You're at 0 hunger.
Cool.
Completely sated again.
Yeah, but now I got a dead body to deal with.
Yes, you do. And you're near the theater. You're at the theater.
Okay.
There is Ollie's morgue butcher contact that's not too far.
But how do I get it there? Can't like call an Uber.
I mean, yeah, you could try and get a hold of the Lights Out pub and get the coterie to come out and grab it with the car.
With the van. It's gonna be okay. That's gonna be a while. Okay, let me think through this. Okay, I'm near the theater. There's a few things around.
I love that sometimes the dice just fucks you up. Man.
Yeah,
That's just how it goes.
It's okay. I'm feeling good now. Dakota's like very clear-headed.
There's 0 hunger gnawing at you in the back. So she just has
to think it out. So probably she's going to take it into the theater because that's our territory, our property. To start that way, it's not just like on the streets for people to see. And then we'll call Ollie and be and then we'll call Ollie because I feel like
yeah. So you call and you just hit it within half a ring. Hey, Lights Out pub. This is Grant. How can I help you?
Shh.
Whoa. You have a phone?
I can talk on the phone. Pass the phone to Ollie.
Hang on. He's cooking a burger. Boss, it's Red.
Hello.
So you know that contact you have that maybe disposes of dead bodies?
Yeah, you mean the morgue?
Yeah, do they have a car?
Yeah, I think they do.
Do they do pickups?
Yeah, they do. Wait, what the fuck happened?
It's just an accident. But I'm feeling better. And my ribs aren't broken anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, let me get my call. Where am I sending them?
To the theater.
To the theater?
Look, I needed to feed it. You know what? We can have this conversation in person. If you don't mind calling a hearse to go, that would be swell.
Grant kind of like has been leaning over to Ava. He's like, he said something about a morgue. I don't know what's happening.
Usually that means somebody died.
Oh yeah, thank you, genius. I got that part.
I didn't mean to. It truly was an accident.
This has happened to me before. It's okay.
It just takes so much blood to get up, and then I can't even stop it. It just does it, and I was really hungry.
No, I get it. I get it. It's fine. I'll let him know.
Cool. I'll just wait here.
A contact, yeah. We get
Okay.
the call is probably like awkward. Like, how do I end this call about a dead body? I guess we just hang up. You make your call to your contact, and without much of a conversation, they will make their way out there. It'll take them about an hour. Grant looks over. Org, what happened?
Somebody die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
happens.
Apparently a lot. That's what Ava was saying. She did it a few times.
Yeah.
I think Dakota's fine now.
Okay. Oh God. Okay.
Good.
Is she gonna be? I don't want to argue with. Okay.
I
And
guess-
Grant kind of like cuts himself off and.
You know, this is the second one in like a couple of nights. I just don't want like the Camarilla like getting a little concerned on our behalf. It could be bad. We're pretty good at cleaning these up nowadays. But just
You only got one more wound to heal. Only one more.
Look, this is why we can't be getting ourselves involved with lupine and all of this shit, because we get hurt real bad and we start getting sloppy and killing people.
I'm with Ava.
No,
Dakota's really messed up from that last.
Yeah, that shit. That's that's from. She's still healing
She's
from
still
that.
she's still recovering from the incident with
Holy
Hannah.
shit! I've never seen her heard
This
that
is why
long.
we do not mess with those
How do you
creatures.
become a werewolf? Is it like like if you get bitten by a werewolf? Is like what
No.
you guys happen? Maybe I should become a werewolf. Whoa!
No.
What if
No,
I go
Grant.
become a werewolf and then you have a werewolf cook as an ally, and instead of like I have a shotgun, I am your shotgun.
Grant.
Is that how it works?
No, because you would hate us. Because
What? That's fucking stupid.
Because we have something inside of us that they hate.
It's a couple jokes that came to mind. So no, okay.
No,
sorry.
no,
I just thought it was
no.
an idea. It was, I just
you ever smelled something that you were like, oh, that's foul, but then you smelled something that was so bad it pissed you off?
You ever shit after 10 days of not being able to shit because of heroin?
Yeah, imagine that, but
Yeah,
like
oh,
amplified times 100. That's kind of how they feel about us.
And you know what? They're also way stronger than us and can kick our ass.
But that's what I was. Well, that was like the angle I was coming at it from. I could have been like your muscle.
No.
Okay. Oh, the burger. He's like another burger starts burning.
Oh God. Okay. Well,
Also, for what it's worth, I don't think that you can become lupine like that. I'm pretty sure it's a born thing, right? It's not like it's not like our it's not like us.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it was just an idea. Let me know when you're ready to turn me.
You know what? I'm not going to worry about turning you until you can figure out how to turn a fucking patty over without burning it.
New stove. I got to learn, man. He just finally goes back to cooking. Time passes, and obviously Dakota would arrive. Body taken care of and driven away in a to-go hearse while you watched over the body and made sure nobody could see it as best you could.
It is a beautiful night. The gather's in a few days. We're gonna go kick some SI ass. I'm feeling right as rain. Well, almost, but you know.
You look better.
Thank you.
Still not 100%.
Well, you know. Doing the best I can.
Do we want to do this tonight? Or do we want to wait?
Well, we should check on we should check on Rose's place.
That's the question. Are you going to let them, do you want them to hit Rose's place before you attack them? Or do you want to attack them before they hit Rose's place?
I would like to hit it
logistically,
after.
that's going to change.
I would like to hit it ideally after, but we don't know how long that's going to be. So we don't want to wait too long either.
Sure.
So we were kind of feeling it out. It's only been like one night. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to take time, especially if you don't know, like if you want to stake them out. So I guess the question I have as an ST is, how long does the coterie want to wait to see if they hit Rose's club before you act?
We were going to say 2 nights.
2 nights?
My vote.
Yeah.
I don't care about the timeline. My vote is to hit them before Rose's, because if it looks like they've been stalking the joint, then they were just weak enough and they got discovered.
All right. It just means that we don't get the out for Rose. Our goal was to kind of get Rose out of the picture.
2 birds, yeah.
Well, let's what rolls do we need to make for a quick stakeout on Rose's to see if they've hit it yet?
He spent about 5 hours with wits investigation rolls.
Wow.
Well, because he's to look for patterns.
That's true.
And you got to wait for time.
Well, I mean, we'll know if it gets hit, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
look, if the kind are good about anything, and I flip the TV on, Vanessa's shit's still playing. It's about reporting incorrect news all about us. So, I imagine if they get hit, we'll know.
Yeah.
That settles. The restaurant runs for a little while, perhaps more light strategy talk about who or what and when. But after a little bit of time, Grant kind of peers over from as he's out serving something. And he's like, boss, someone, and he points into the front door, and you just see a large motherfucker standing in clean clothes, clean pants, cleanly shaven. And he's just standing there. Grant gestures to him, and he looks over and he sees you, and he starts walking for the kitchen door just kind of casually.
If I see him, is this the same guy that brought me the...
No, it is not the same guy. No. It is a guy that looks as big.
I'm gonna meet him at the kitchen door.
As you meet him at the kitchen door, he stops abruptly, and you swing it open. He looks you in the eye, and he's like, I'm looking for Oliver Hopkins.
Who's asking?
Emissary from Emmy. And he looks around to make sure he didn't get hurt.
You found him.
Oh, you made a request. and I am here with a response. May I? And he like gestures to get out of the crowds, like, and get into the kitchen.
Yeah.
He walks in, and there's Dakota and Ava, and he doesn't have anything in his hands. As he walks in, the door shuts. He looks over to Ollie. We're gonna play 2 truths and a lie. If you're able to guess what my lie is, you'll have reinforcements.
Another game.
Sure.
It's happened before.
I lean over to Ava and I say, when did Ollie get a new girlfriend?
Last time they made him do some fortune thing. Cootie catcher.
All right, emissary, what you got?
To them.
That was cute.
First, I lost my virginity at 15. Second, my first kill of a person was when I was 18. Third, Emmy makes the greatest strawberry shortcake.
Okay, because the last
2
one
are
was
truths, 1
ridiculous.
are a lie.
The last one's ridiculous as fuck, which means it's true.
He looks
Yes.
to Dakota. I'm here for Ollie Hopkins only.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
She's
You
rude
can't-
too.
Can't phone a friend.
How old are you?
31.
It's the fucking shortcake. Come on.
Okay. You're correct. She makes a great peach cobbler, though.
Wow,
All right.
Damn, that wouldn't have been my guess.
me either.
What night and where?
Looks at Ava and Dakota. Tomorrow?
Tomorrow night.
Let's do this tomorrow.
I'll give just corner of corner and corner, you know, and like near the building, but not like on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He takes that information very quickly and without any pomp and circumstance leaves.
Before he goes, I want to tell him we got to meet again. It's important. It's based on her last request.
He just nods. I believe she feels very similar. I'll let the mistress know. And he walks.
I want people to
Is this
call
like
me
a
that.
regular thing? Do we have to always play games?
Grant?
Hey,
Can you call me mistress?
Don't do that.
do I get to take you on a date? Mistress Eloise.
Maybe. We're still working on that one.
Well, yeah, we've been working on it for a long goddamn time, Ava.
All right.
If Ollie and Red over here are getting together, I feel like it only makes sitcom sense that you and I have to at least give it a go. You know, it's
what?
like when Joey and Rachel tried it out in
Who?
season 8.
Who?
And they went on that beach vacation and so it just didn't work out because Rachel's supposed to be with Ross, right? So I'm like, you know, we gotta be that like weird side couple. Well, Monica and Chandler over here are just making babies.
The fuck's he talking about?
I have no idea, but Grant, the moment a laugh track plays, you can call my life a sitcom.
We are far from a sitcom. This is true.
It's like a dark sitcom.
A dark sick. Okay, yep. Grant, I just killed a man in a back alleyway tonight because I was hungry.
Didn't hear it. I gotta go make burgers. Goodbye.
A dark sitcom. Are you laughing yet?
Ah! And he leaves.
Okay. Well, if we're gonna make this happen tomorrow night, I ought to try to track down Moon and get her requested so we have a little bit of backup. Any other thoughts on who we could have on our team? Where's Nelson when you need him? What about Archie?
Reach out to Nelson.
I wish my boy was here.
What?
Let me clip you on the clip notes from my last night. Not gonna give you all the run amok. Just want to tell you, things are going well with Jules. Everything that Zach did failed.
Of course.
It completely failed. She knows that I'm not a human anymore.
Oh, shit.
And she's like, okay.
She actually asked me to leave with her and Pops. She was very jealous of the fact that I have a second family. I think that you guys get along. She's a Spitfire. She honestly, she'd make one hell of a gangrel.
Well, we're not.
Okay.
Either way,
I have dibs. You just hear in the background Grant shouting.
Grant
The,
does have dibs. When you start working out, you fat fuck.
the other detail was on the way out, I was met by Layla. She just knows where I am all the time.
Great.
Am I ever gonna get to meet Layla?
Yeah, I'm sure one of these days.
Do you want to?
I'd like that very much.
Layla is absolutely fanatical, completely sold on everything that's happening, and she is a warrior of God. And she is so grateful that I've decided to take the mantle of operating with her, which I think is fucking hilarious because I did everything that I did to save Needles. But she said 2 for 2, and she confirmed that she took Genghis and that she took Vanessa's. And she said she's looking for Vitel.
Good.
Good.
She told me that she's going to come back after Vitel is gone. She wants more names, and if I can't provide her with names, she's going to take me out. So I gave her the biggest name.
You mean the sandwich?
The biggest name.
You gave her
Well.
the sandwich's name?
I did.
Yeah, good luck with that one, Layla.
Yeah, that'll keep her fucking busy for a while. Either way, I told her that Vitel was wrapped up with the sandwich.
Hey, maybe she'll come for me. I have her shadow.
Ava says that jokingly, but
This is where the sitcom laugh track kicks in.
Yeah,
exactly.
Small caveat. I convinced her to help move the Thin Bloods out of the city.
What?
I'm sorry. You're gonna have the most scary, threatening killer we know who has her own comic book series move Thin Bloods out of the
Bloods?
city?
The one that she shot in the jaw?
Yeah, it wasn't her. That's the thing, is she's got a bunch of creeps
One of
working
her-
for her.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was a situationship more than anything else. She went for
Okay.
Genghis, and Saoirse was there.
Do not trust Layla to take those Thin Bloods out of the city. And they are not putting a hand on the Thin Bloods, actually.
You know,
She would like to meet, and she's willing to hear them out, knowing that they're between this.
and
No.
if she doesn't like what they say,
What is she going to do?
Kill him?
Yeah, I told her if she kills him, I'll kill her.
Okay.
I don't think we should trust her. Look, she's been helpful. We can do this whole name exchange thing. I think that is a great, you know what? We've made
That is
it.
literally buying us time. How many more names can I give her?
Well,
If
you
I give her Rose, she'll roll on Rose so fast. She'll take
Oh.
Rose out.
Well,
Maybe we should've
easy.
done that.
Top of list. Gold star for Layla.
The problem is when we're out of names, she's just going
Then-
to come back here for us.
Then we kill her. I don't know. Then we're done with her.
Look,
She's an ally until she's not.
how about this? If Layla survives Sybil, she can have Chicago.
We're really playing with fire here.
Yeah, we are.
I don't like
And you
this.
know
We're
what?
afraid of fire.
When other dumbasses play with fire, do you know what you're supposed to do?
Run and cower in fear because
no,
we'll
step
die.
back
clearly,
and
we-
laugh at what fools they are.
We put the fire shadow on our back. We walk around with it proudly.
So I'm just saying.
You know, you guys think I'm irrational a lot of times, and I am. But this,
All right, I mean,
I
hey,
like
you
how
guys
you
have to
drove the
settle
bus
down.
over yourself.
Yeah, you're like, hang on, you can't do it. I'm gonna.
Ava's self-aware, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, So they're
but
best qualities.
It is, but like this just doesn't seem like a good idea. I don't know. This just seems a little too dangerous of a thing. But if you guys think that this is a good idea, fine. But I'm just saying maybe we should think about this.
Did you give her anybody else's name?
I gave her the big name, and that's it. She did say she's going to come back. So after she hits Vitel, there's a good chance that she's going to stroll back through those doors.
Did you give her her
And-
Thin Blood's name?
Yeah, I did.
Who?
Saoirse.
Shit.
Do we
Well,
know,
she's here, so we.
do we know
she
where
can't
Saoirse
talk.
is?
She's in the
Nelson
back
took her.
room.
Nelson
No,
took
Nelson-
her after. She
Nelson
healed
took
up,
her.
and then Nelson took her.
Do we
She's
know
at
where?
the at the halfway house.
You're gonna get your. Oh God. Okay. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
all right. No. This is.
I'm about to fury. I'm about to fury.
about to
right
fucking
now.
panic.
Wait. This is good. This is good.
Oh my God.
This is good. It sucks for Saoirse. And you know, Ava. Maybe if we kept an eye on Saoirse, we could actually track Layla. Because if Layla starts working with the Thin Bloods, we actually have our first major piece of information that allows us to track Layla's actions. See, before that, she was a ghost in the wind. Now we know where her interests lie.
I mean, something else you got to look at, right? Thin Bloods are hated here. They're hated.
Yeah, I'm working. I would like to change that. Jackson doesn't hate them. He wants to give them a chance, but he got to stick around. You can't get.
I would too. But these Thin Bloods, some of them want out. But
and I think,
what do you do when you're a Thin Blood and you're hated by the world that made you what you are, and then the living world also hates you?
You come see Dakota, and I give you a place in the train yard till we get you hooked up with a better spot, and I have your back as long as you stick around.
Layla has a heart. It may be corrupted and cold and fucked up, man, wrapped in some thorny nonsense. But I don't think she directly wants to harm every person she comes into contact with. I think she thinks that she's doing good. Honestly, if I had been approached by the other side, the Inquisition had come for me before I was turned, I probably would have been with them.
You know, we don't get to choose our fate.
We don't.
So, I'll give Layla that much.
The one thing that I can say for sure I can take to the bank tonight is Layla trusts me. At least enough to work with me.
Can we just kill her?
It's going to come to that.
Okay, so what are we waiting for? You know what? I say, if Sybil doesn't take her out, we do when the Sybil situation's all done.
Yeah. We're on the same page.
She killed 2 very powerful kindred,
that didn't know that she was coming.
True.
And those 2, kind of out of touch. Forgive me, but the Anarchs are in shambles right now trying to find a footing.
It's true. They are
Yeah,
weak.
Tarkus, as Vanessa, she was just hidden up in her tower, just waiting to be picked off by whatever side was most willing to go in and dare. Okay. We're connected, we're informed, and we're making moves. And I'm not keeping shit secret from you guys. I'm telling you so you know.
Okay. Let's simmer on the Layla plan for now, because tomorrow night, we have 12 SI to sort out.
I'm ready for it.
Yes.
Dakota just runs out and tries to see if she can't leave a note for Moon or a message to see if he wants to turn up.
There's some time where you can leave notes, send messages, and is there just a waiting? You want to wait till the next? Do we want to move to the next night?
I guess so, because that's when the tax. We would basically prep for it, so I would get word out to Moon to see if he wanted to show up.
I know people are okay running late. I have a call I have to get to, but I know where I'm gonna wrap this, so don't you stress. So if you're moving to the next night, please make me your rouse check and healing rolls.
Oh, fuck me. Okay. I'm awake. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 2 hunger. What's up?
That's not bad at all.
Nope.
Okay. You are fully healed of your aggravated damage. You are fully good. It's like almost a week or a full week it took.
Feeling saucy about it.
Everybody else roused, but mark it. Because as our camera wakes up this evening, we find the gentle rocking waters of the pier, where a boat parked a good distance away from where it's normally parked due to the ongoing missing persons case sits. We see Dakota rouse as she from her slumber, as she always does, feeling much better, checking to make sure all of her wounds are closed, and with confidence they are. Dresses for the night, and as you clamber on the upstairs, both dogs are there to meet you. One just wagging his tail, sitting obediently, with the other one with his tongue hanging out of his mouth, as always. You quickly give him pats and rubs.
Yep, and
as you stand
steak
up,
for each one.
And as you stand up and to look over and hop over the boat, knowing tonight is a night of action, there are 2 figures sitting on a bench, a bit of a distance, having a light chat with one another. It's hard to see in the dim light, as the light of the pier doesn't really illuminate them all that much for how far away they are. And as you hop off the boat, you start taking them in, and you recognize the one on the right-hand side almost immediately. It's Moon.
Oh, okay. Whew.
There in his long, big jean jacket, some sweatpants, relatively comfortable. His hair is about it's a little shaggier and long, but it's not like shoulder length long. It's just kind of messed up, and he definitely looks like he hasn't seen a shower in a while. But the individual he's speaking with, it takes you a minute. You've only seen this person, maybe once, potentially twice. He has very long, dark hair. He wears sunglasses even at night. He's having a light conversation, pleasantly speaking, with his leg crossed. And as you approach and walk by or get a little closer, his attention is drawn to you first, followed by Moon's, who follows in tow. You see Moon stand up, and not like a smile or anything, but he holds his hand out for a firm grasp on the arm. And as you do, each individual, Beckett stands. He looks to you, but just kind of gives a nod to follow, wordlessly, without giving any time. And he begins to walk away, not toward the city, but toward the small batch of woods that finds itself kind of running along the southern part of the pier, over in Northerly Isle and so on. And he begins to just walk off the beaten path through the what woods that are kind of there, as you can hear animals scurrying away or an owl in a distance. The two of you, he leads while Moon and you hang next to each other. Moon actually leans in. When's the thing?
I point to the sky. When the moon is almost gone.
Okay, he just nods to that. About 5 minutes of wandering through the woods occurs, when eventually Beckett stops abruptly. He holds his hand up for you all to stop as well, and he looks around. He looks to Dakota, and as he pulls out a small notebook and quickly makes a scribble down. A favor for a friend. And as he says so, he steps kind of out of the way. And there, standing there, is a face you haven't seen since before season 1. The face of your sire.
Oh, shit.
You see her not in her normal form, but instead a wolf comes trotting out.
What?
And as it comes trotting out, you watch as the bits of fur, unlike how you saw Hannah, the bits of fur actually begin to fall away into ash as she lifts herself up from 2 paws, and you watch the bits of animalistic features just peel away in dust in the wind behind as she stands fully up and looks you in the eye. There's silence between the two of you. What is the look on Dakota's face is the word I'm looking for. What is just the physical look on her face?
Well, Dakota would try to keep a resting bitch face. Like, she doesn't want them to know that she's internally
that's fine.
Like,
and so
shock
that's
and a little
we
bit
see
of
a stoic face as you stare her down. You're not young Dakota anymore. Losing control of your emotions is not something that's so easily done any longer. And so it's that stoic face that we see. The camera pulls back. And can you do me a favor for the audience and describe what your sire looks like?
I want to think. I feel like we've described her once before. She's also a relatively small woman.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. She's a relatively small woman, but she's much older, right? She was turned later in life, like probably, I say much older, probably in her 40s at some point. Not quite your grandma, but, not young and spry by any means. And I imagine that she wears signs of living on the road, right?
Sure.
In all the many forms. Her clothes are not special, her hair is not special, and she's probably, dirty and carries exactly drifter-like what her body can carry,
Sure. And that's what the audience sees. Beckett stands closer to Dakota than to this other to your sire, rather. And the last things he says is, every story has an origin, and I'd rather find it out from the source. Please, let's talk. And as he says that, and Dakota goes to respond, just as your lips open and we're about to hear that first word, we cut to black. And we'll be back after our mid-season break on September 16th with a bit of a conversation and an all-out assault. That's probably going to be the majority of that episode. That's going to be an hours-long assault. There's a lot of things moving for that assault happening. So that's what we return to.
Okay, everybody.
Think about it, Dakota. You have a lot to think about.
Holy Okay,
Okay. All right, everybody. Well, I guess we'll see you September 16th. We'll be back.
There will be things happening on this channel in between, so hit that follow button. There'll be little mini things popping up when we throughout the little break, but we'll be back every Saturday starting in just a couple months. I know it sounds crazy, September 16th, but again, it's already like July 8th.
Be on the lookout. We're starting those lore sheets, yo. Actually, better yet, if you have ideas for our lore sheets, drop them in the comments below or put them in our Discord.
That works for me. Thank you, everybody. We love you. We'll see you in a couple months.
Bye.